Chapter 2043. After the sun altar was transformed by the heavenly law divine domain, it became very strong. Adding the energy inside the altar comes from the heavenly law divine domain. The energy it released is very dreadful. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are hiding in a dark place, looking at the ice ball. After sensing the cold air, they cannot help but retreat. This kind of cold air is very strong. The reason why they can control this cold air is because they have grasped the power of Ice Dragon Totem. Xian Rujing secretly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun. It seems like the Ice Dragon passed down its totem. Qin Yun said, "The Ice Dragon Totem is quite good, they can fuse the totem into their blood." Xian Rujing said, "The Ice Dragon Totem should be inside the Dragon Pearl, but there is something inside the Dragon Pearl, there is no way to take it out now. Heavenly Law Divine Domain wants to take away the Dragon Pearl and control the heavenly devil demons inside." And the ice race suddenly appeared to protect the Dragon Pearl, that is why they attacked the altar. Although the sun altar is wrapped up and turned into an ice ball, there are heavenly beings and formidable inscription masters inside. Their overall power is very formidable. The altar shook and the ice ball immediately cracked open. This kind of cold ice can devour energy, but now it seems like it is being suppressed by the altar. After all, it is the heavenly law divine domain. It has mastered all kinds of formidable technique. Sun Holy Land's strange cold air is completely unable to deal with those heavenly beings. Ice race, you lowly race from ancient times, you can actually survive until now. Heavenly being's voice came out from the altar. This immediately angered those ice race people. Tyrannical cold wind suddenly rose and whistled. Many ice power condensed into all kinds of illusory figures and rushed towards the altar. The sun altar's surface flickered with golden light. Scorching hot air wave brought with it a burst of frantic power, resisting the formidable strange cold power. Qin Yun used heavenly eye to look at the sun altar. He can faintly see a trace of heavenly law power. If I use heavenly law power to resist, then the ice race people's attack will not be that strong. Qin Yun is somewhat doubtful in his heart. He used heavenly might Dao technique to resist the cold power before, but the effect was not very clear. He suspects that the heavenly law power he cultivated is not strong enough. While the altar is resisting the ice race people's attack, the black great river insect suddenly floated up and wrapped around the altar. The heavenly demonic demons inside the divine universe ice dragon pearl also attacked. The great river worm was formed from black liquid. After it enveloped the altar, the heavenly fiend demon released the power of the divine space ice dragon pearl to freeze the black liquid. Just like that, the altar was sealed inside the river worm. Ice Royal Clan, I know that you are protecting the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Ball, but you must also understand that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Ball no longer belongs to the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, so this Dragon Ball is not yours. The heavenly demonic demon laughed sinisterly. It belongs to me. You'd better stay away from me. Otherwise, you won't even know how you died. Dao. Evil creature, just you wait, we will definitely drag you out. An old and slightly angry voice came from afar. The Ice Royal Tribe was the royal tribe of the Ice Clan. They didn't show themselves, but they controlled strong ice energy to resist the altar. Qin Yun was puzzled as he recalled the past. In his memories, there was no such thing as the Ice Clan. It was also possible that this clan was too weak back then, so they didn't have any sense of existence, so he didn't remember them. Although the altar was sealed, the people inside were fine. The Heaven Man's voice came out and he shouted angrily, "You are just a heavenly devil demon, just you wait." The Heavenly Law Divine Realm attaches great importance to this place. Next, they will send experts over one after another. I'm not afraid of you. The Heavenly Devil Demon laughed loudly. You group of heaven men do indeed have some ability, but you can only scare ordinary creatures. You can't scare me. Then you're wrong. This time, the Sacred King Heavenly Mother will come. You should know the strength of the Sacred King Heavenly Mother better than me. Any random Sacred King Heavenly Mother from our heavenly law divine realm would be an invincible existence in the sacred wasteland. The man in the altar laughed loudly. You don't scare me. How noble was the Sacred King Heavenly Mother? How could she come to such a place? Besides, if the Sacred King Heavenly Mother really comes here, it means that you guys are too weak. You will all be sent back to the heavenly embryo by the Sacred King Heavenly Mother to be reborn. The heavenly devil demon is clearly scared. The man in the altar said with sneer, Heavenly devil demon, I say, you are really something. You still don't know how important this place is? We are here to act as the vanguard. The Sacred King Heavenly Mother will arrive very soon. The heavenly devil demon's voice has already become somewhat trembling as he asked, When will the Sacred King Heavenly Mother arrive? How many? 2. She will arrive very soon. The heavenly devil demon said. You don't scare me. The heavenly devil demon seems to be scared. He can't hide the fear in his voice. Qin Yun pulled Xian Rujing, unleashed light transformation sacred pupil and immediately flew away towards the direction of the Ice King race. Xian Rujing did not even have time to react, and they are already far away from the Black Lake. Qin Yun, are you afraid of the Sacred King Heavenly Mother? Xian Rujing asked. Although she doesn't know what the Sacred King Heavenly Mother is, she can see that she is a very formidable existence in the heavenly law divine realm. I am not afraid, I just don't have enough strength to face the Sacred King Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun said. Then what about the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl? Don't you want it? Xian Rujing said. Of course I want it. Qin Yun flew forward and chased after the Ice King race people. What is the Sacred King Heavenly Mother? Heavenly devil demons are very afraid of this kind of people. Xian Rujing said. Among the heavenly men, there are many males and very few females. And most of the heavenly men are born from the Heavenly Mother. The Heavenly Mother controls very formidable heavenly law power. She can give birth to many formidable heavenly men. Then, how many heavenly men can a Heavenly Mother give birth to? Xian Rujing knows very little about heavenly men. In fact, people under heavenly law know very little about heavenly men. Qin Yun is very familiar with the heavenly law divine realm, so he knows about the situation of heavenly men. A heavenly mother can give birth to at least several 100,000, at most several million, over 10 million. Heavenly law divine realm is a very large faction. It governs many heavenly domains under heavenly law. Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing's expression is filled with amazement as she asked, Give birth to over 10 million? How do they give birth to that? Qin Yun said. This is similar to the composition of an ant colony. The Heavenly Mother is the queen ant. The heavenly men of the heavenly law divine realm are all nests. The stronger the Heavenly Mother, the more she can give birth to, the stronger the heavenly men she gives birth to. The stronger the heavenly men are, the more resources they can provide to the Heavenly Mother, making her evolve even stronger. So it is like this. What does the Sacred King of the Sacred King Heavenly Mother represent? Xian Rujing asked. It means that as long as the Heavenly Mother is in good condition, she can give birth to very strong heavenly saints. The strongest heavenly saints are the kings of the saint-level space. And the arrival of the Sacred King Heavenly Mother means that she will be accompanied by many formidable heavenly saints. Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing now understands why the heavenly devil demons are so afraid of the Sacred King Heavenly Mother, and why Qin Yun doesn't want to fight against the Sacred King Heavenly Mother. When the Sacred King Heavenly Mother gives birth to heavenly men, does it look like a human giving birth to a child? Xian Rujing asked again. As a woman, she feels very scared just thinking about giving birth to several 100,000 heavenly men. She has never experienced giving birth to children. Even though she is the ice goddess, she has at most created some ice spirit. Qin Yun said with a smile, Of course not. They can absorb the heavenly Tao's powers and use mystic arts to create heavenly humans together with the heavenly embryo. As for the process, the heavenly embryo is like a cauldron. It's like refining a huge egg, allowing heavenly humans to break out of the shell. Many heavenly men are created this way. So that's how it is. Xian Rujing nodded. If that is the case, then this heavenly mother is truly dreadful. She can create so many formidable heavenly men. It is very difficult for ordinary living beings to cultivate to heavenly saint realm, but they can directly create them. Not only that, divine Desolate's heavenly mother can directly create gods. Those divine heavenly men are also created in this way. Qin Yun said, that is why the heavenly law divine domain is very formidable, because there are many of these heavenly mothers there. Xian Rujing also secretly sighed at the might of the heavenly law divine domain. She now understands why even someone as heaven-defying as Qin Yun is being suppressed so miserably by the heavenly law divine domain. In the past, 9 Sun royal family, as well as many other powerful races and factions under the heavenly law, were incomparably insignificant in front of heavenly law divine domain's heavenly men. 2 sacred king heavenly mothers are coming to the sun's sacred land. It means that they will be accompanied by many formidable heavenly men with very high status. Heavenly devil demons came from the heavenly law divine domain, so they are very clear about how formidable heavenly mothers are. Xian Rujing and Qin Yun are flying hand in hand. Xian Rujing asked, Qin Yun, have you seen Heavenly Mother? In my 9 lives I have only seen her 3 times. I have seen her from far away. When Heavenly Mother goes out, she is accompanied by at least 100,000 heavenly men. Moreover, they are all the strongest heavenly men born by that Heavenly Mother. It can be said that she has come out in full force. Are the 2 heavenly mothers coming to the sun's sacred land for the sun seed? Is the sun seed very important to them? Xian Rujing asked. Speaking of this matter, Qin Yun laughed and said, extremely important. I have been dealing with heavenly men for many years. I learned that there is a legend in the heavenly law divine domain. Heavenly Mother cannot give birth to a child in her womb. She can only use a tool called heavenly embryo to use energy to create a heavenly man. Heavenly mothers want to experience true pregnancy and give birth to their own flesh and blood. According to legend, they need a sun seed to give birth to a child. Xian Rujing also finds this very interesting. She continued to ask, then what they give birth to, will they be very strong? I don't know. According to legend, they are very strong. They can become heavenly law venerable emperor. Qin Yun said with smile. Of course, these are all legends. However, heavenly mothers are very concerned about the matter of sun seed. Just look at them personally taking action, you will know. Chapter 2044. Qin Yun knows that Sacred King Heavenly Mother is very strong, but he doesn't know the specifics. The information he heard from heavenly people about Heavenly Mother is not very deep. Because majority of heavenly people can rarely see Heavenly Mother. Only very strong heavenly people can stay beside Heavenly Mother and listen to her command. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are flying in the sky. The sky is gradually darkening. Night is about to arrive. Night is very dangerous in this sun's sacred land. However, Xian Rujing is beside Qin Yun. She is releasing a very peculiar energy that enveloped Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun can feel a burst of warm energy coming from Xian Rujing's hand. He feels very comfortable. Sister Rujing, you are ice and snow goddess, but the energy you are releasing is very warm. Even I am a flame cultivator, I cannot warm myself up. Qin Yun said with smile. At night, Qin Yun can barely resist the strange cold power. Even if he doesn't release energy while running on the ground, it is still very cold. Xian Rujing said, this place's ice power is very peculiar. The hotter the energy inside your body, the colder you will feel. If you cultivate the power of ice, then you will feel very warm. But the prerequisite is that your ice power must be cold enough. So it is like this. Qin Yun nodded. He also knows that the strange ice power here loves to devour scorching hot energy. For example, ice race's devilish children love to eat fire candy. Sister Rujing, you should go find Mu Yu. I can get Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl by myself. Qin Yun said. Mu Yu's situation should be very stable now. Xian Rujing looked at the silver light pearl in the distance and said, I want to be with you. In this kind of environment, I can be of great help to you. She finished speaking and grabbed Qin Yun's hand with even more strength, expressing her determination to not leave. All right then. Qin Yun also doesn't want Xian Rujing to take risks with him because he will most likely have to face the extremely strong Sacred King, Heavenly Mother. Xian Rujing also understands Qin Yun's intention. She coldly groaned and said, Qin Yun, don't tell me you dislike me for being a burden? Of course not. Qin Yun said with smile. If not for you, I would only be able to run on the ground. It would be very difficult to fly. That's good. Xian Rujing said. This kind of environment is advantageous to me. My strength is not weak. Don't look down on me. I know, said Qin Yun with a smile. They were far away from the Black Lake. They wondered how the heavenly demonic demon that controlled the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl was doing. Qin Yun saw that the Ice Royal Race people were guarding the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl, so he chased after them to make contact with them. While flying, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing released their aura. It can be said that their movements are not small. Especially at night, it was easier to expose his whereabouts. Sure enough, while Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are flying in the night sky, they suddenly sensed berserk cold air all around them. A cold whirlpool of white light appeared in the sky, stirring up a storm. Xian Rujing said with frown, Be careful, someone is controlling very strong cold power, they want to trap us. Qin Yun promptly shouted, Ice Royal Race friends, we are from Sacred Desolate, we have no malice. We just want to discuss with you about heavenly devil demons. It could only be someone from the Ice Royal family, so he immediately expressed his intentions. The cold whirlpool of white light is still revolving in the sky, but the heaven and earth are not that cold anymore. Burst of cold wind whistled and arrived from all around. More than 10 people wearing ice armor and white ice helmets appeared around Qin Yun and Xian Rujing. They are floating in the sky and surrounding Qin Yun and Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing doesn't feel anything, but Qin Yun feels somewhat cold. Fortunately, Xian Rujing is transferring energy to him, helping him resist the cold. Sacred Desolate people, what do you know about heavenly devil demons? We have nothing to discuss about this matter. The person speaking is an old man. He is the same old man who talked to the heavenly devil demons before. Senior, it is not difficult to deal with heavenly devil demons, it is difficult to deal with heavenly law divine domain. Qin Yun very calmly said, I think you also know that heavenly law divine domain's heavenly men have arrived. That old man took off his helmet, looking at his face. He is a valiant old man with an ice-cold expression. His eyes flickered with cold light as he said, Then what do you want to discuss with us? Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl cannot fall into Heavenly Law Divine Domain's hands. Qin Yun said, We know this better than you. Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl can fall into anyone's hands, but it cannot fall into Heavenly Law Divine Domain's hands. Can you take away the Dragon Pearl? That old man said in cold voice. Of course I can't now, but if you help me, I can. You should know that Sacred King Heavenly Mother will arrive soon. Qin Yun said. These more than 10 Ice Royal Race people immediately let out low sighs. Some of them still don't believe Qin Yun. If Sacred King Heavenly Mother arrives, we won't be able to take away the Dragon Pearl. And your strength is too weak, you are not even heavenly saints. Being able to come here from Sacred Desolate alive is already very good. That old man said. Qin Yun said, Sacred King Heavenly Mother will arrive, but she will need some time to arrive at the Dragon Pearl. We must take advantage of this time to get the dragon pearl. This Sun Holy Land is very big and has a very strong barrier. No matter how strong Sacred King Heavenly Mother is, she cannot directly break through space and enter the Sun Holy Land. We are not a match for heavenly devil demons. And what gives you two the confidence to deal with heavenly devil demons? That old man sized up Qin Yun and Xian Rujing. His eyes are filled with disdain. Heavenly devil demons are extremely evil creatures. We can use extreme yang items to deal with them. Qin Yun took out a hammer. It is 9 Sun Divine Hammer. He placed the core crystal mother inside the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and poured his absolute yang power into it. The divine hammer immediately flickered with intense light and released a scorching hot air wave. The ice armor worn by the more than 10 ice royal race people immediately melted. This caused the expressions of the more than 10 ice royal race experts to change. After their ice armor melted, they became middle-aged men wearing beast skin. There is only one old man, but that old man is very strong. Sun Soul! That old man's ice-cold eyes suddenly became fiery hot. Indeed. But it won't last long. Qin Yun promptly took out the core crystal mother and said, "Although this is our first time meeting, we have the same goal. We cannot let the Dragon Pearl and Heavenly Devil Demons fall into Heavenly Law Divine Domain's hands." That old man said, "You seem to understand this matter very well. What else do you know?" If my guess is not wrong, the Heavenly Devil Demons have been parasitizing the Dragon Pearl for many years. They know the Divine Universe Ice Dragon like the back of their hand. They are connected to the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's soul. And now, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon has merged with the entire Sun Holy Land. If we control the Heavenly Devil Demons, we can indirectly control the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. Qin Yun said. That old man's expression turned cold and said, "What else?" At that time, Heavenly Law Divine Domain will control the Sun Holy Land. If you use the Heavenly Devil Demons to stir up trouble here, your ice race will surely be exterminated. Qin Yun said. "Who are you?" That old man coldly looked at Qin Yun. He is still very vigilant towards Qin Yun. "My name is Qin Yun. You won't recognize me even if I tell you." Qin Yun said with laugh. "Senior, if you don't make a decision quickly, the Divine King Heavenly Mother will come." Xian Rujing said, "Quickly make a decision. Are you sure you can take down the Dragon Pearl?" The old man said, "So long as you take the Dragon Pearl and bring it to Sacred Desolate, then cut off the connection between the Divine Universe Ice Dragon and the Heavenly Devil Demons, it will be fine." Qin Yun promptly took out 3 Dragon Pearls. These 3 pearls are releasing very strong dragon might. These are the Dragon Pearls of Divine Universe Devil Dragon, Divine Universe Evil Dragon and Divine Universe Fire Dragon. Seeing these 3 Dragon Pearls, more than 10 ice race people opened their eyes wide. Their originally ice-cold expression has now turned into one of shock. Qin Yun is just a great sage realm cultivator, yet he has 3 Divine Universe Dragon Pearls. Qin Yun stored the Dragon Pearls and said, "Can I? Let's go." That old man finished speaking, cold air rushed out of his body and condensed into an ice armor. Other people's ice armor was melted by 9 Sun Divine Hammers' energy. And now they are condensed again. More than 10 Ice King race people are flying in front. Xian Rujing pulled Qin Yun and followed behind. With Xian Rujing's help, Qin Yun doesn't need to consume any energy. Xian Rujing has 9 sacred veins. It can be said that she is like a fish in water inside the Sun Holy Land. Qin Yun thought about it for a long time and decided to bring the Ice King race people back. He concluded that Sacred King Heavenly Mother won't be able to arrive so quickly. He wants to take this opportunity to capture the Heavenly Devil Demon and obtain the Dragon Pearls. If the Dragon Pearls fall into Sacred King Heavenly Mother's hands, Sun Holy Land situation will be under their control and they can easily obtain the Sun Seed. Late at night, the Black Lake can't be seen from the sky. However, Ice King race people and Xian Rujing both know where the Black Lake is. That sun altar is being wrapped up by the great river worm, it is now struggling. After Qin Yun and the others approached, they heard the heavenly man yell, "Heavenly devil demon, what do you think? We are not lying to you, Sacred King Heavenly Mother will arrive soon. You must pledge allegiance before she arrives and you won't be punished." "If I pledge allegiance, what benefits will I get?" The heavenly devil demon is very afraid of Heavenly Mother, but he doesn't want to obey heavenly law divine domain. Naturally there will be benefits, the specifics will depend on your attitude. That heavenly devil demon is also very afraid of Heavenly Mother, so he did not clearly state his conditions. "Alright." The heavenly devil demon agreed. After the heavenly devil demon finished speaking, the great river worm released the altar. The altar once again appeared, it is flickering with intense golden light. Suddenly a white ice ball floated out of the Black Lake. There is a black thing inside the ice ball, it is the heavenly devil demon. On the way here, Qin Yun discussed with the Ice King race people. At this moment, the people of the Ice Royal tribe attacked the altar, and Qin Yun and Xian Rujing rushed towards the dragon pearls. Chapter 2045. The heavenly person inside the altar furiously shouted, "Wretched ice race bastards, you are opposing heavenly law divine domain, there will be no end for you. Even though there are only 10 ice royal race people, they are all very strong, moreover they can use cold power all around them. They want to freeze the altar." Qin Yun used Heavenly Eye and rushed towards the huge dragon pearl. After approaching the dragon pearl, Qin Yun used Mysterious Penetration divine ability. "Bring me along." Xian Rujing firmly grabbed Qin Yun's hand and said. Qin Yun pulled Xian Rujing and entered the dragon pearl. His other hand is also tightly holding 9 Sun divine hammer. In the blink of an eye, they entered the divine space ice dragon pearl. As soon as they entered, Qin Yun felt incomparably cold, moreover a ruthless evil energy rushed over. Fortunately Xian Rujing used her 9 sacred power and Sun and Moon Heart Sutras method to pour it into Qin Yun's body. This allowed Qin Yun to resist the coldness. Qin Yun's body released overwhelming righteous energy and purified the ruthless evil energy. Inside the dragon pearl, Qin Yun saw a heavenly devil demon. His whole body is made of black liquid. He has a pair of red eyes. The heavenly devil demon sensed that someone has entered and let out angry roars. When he saw Qin Yun, his angry roars came to an abrupt halt. He said with trembling voice, "Palace King? You recognize me?" Qin Yun said in amazement. You still haven't been played to death?" The heavenly devil demon saw the 9 Sun divine hammer in Qin Yun's hand. He felt very uncomfortable after being burned by the extreme yang power. "I was almost played to death a few times, but luckily I survived," Qin Yun said with laugh. "It is impossible to be lucky. The heavenly devil demon's evil power is very strong." He burst out with roar and said, "Let me kill you, Heavenly Mother will surely reward me." "Dream on. You and I both understand that group of fellows from the heavenly law divine realm. In their eyes you are nothing more than a tool. After using you they will refine you into energy." Qin Yun sneered as he struck with the divine hammer in his hand. While attacking, Qin Yun fused the nether sun and nether moon within his body and released sun and moon splendor power. This kind of power is the most dreadful. It contains vigorous and ferocious yang power, as well as moon power, which is extremely harmful to the soul. After using the 9 Sun divine hammer to increase its power by several times, its might is ferocious and berserk. Boom boom boom. Qin Yun held the hammer with one hand and began hammering at the Skyfiend demon. In an instant, he struck out dozens of times. Each strike was a move from the 9 forms of heavenly annihilation. The most dreadful thing is that Qin Yun is using the power of Nether Sun Totem. Although the sky demonic beasts had cultivated physical bodies, their strongest aspect was still their soul bodies. It is very easy for Qin Yun to deal with this kind of evil soul body. As he continuously hammered, Nether Sun Flame also burst out and smelted the heavenly devil demon. The heavenly demonic demon's soul was torn to shreds by the power of sun and moon splendor. This thing is so weak. After killing the heavenly devil demon, Qin Yun took out an ice pearl from its body. It is the divine universe ice dragon's dragon pearl. After obtaining the dragon pearl, the frost power contained in the huge ice ball immediately surged into the divine space ice dragon pearl. The Skyfiend demons had been purified by Qin Yun and transformed into pure energy that was absorbed by the divine universe ice dragon pearl. The 9 Sun divine hammer consumed a lot of energy. The mother crystal core's energy had already been used up. It needed to store energy before it could be used again. Qin Yun stored the divine hammer. Xian Rujing pulled Qin Yun and rushed towards the distance. Ice King race people are still besieging the altar. They saw Qin Yun succeed. They are extremely happy and promptly retreated. Xian Rujing brought Qin Yun and left with the Ice King race people. After they left, a burst of angry cursing came from inside the altar. Because those heavenly men don't know what is happening outside. They only know that they are being besieged by Ice King race people. After they understood the situation outside, they became even more furious. Because the heavenly devil demon has been killed and the divine space ice dragon pearl has been taken away. The altar broke open the thick ice and a few old men flew out. One of them is wearing robe with star transformation runes. He is precisely the very high position Elder Ping. Elder Ping, what is going on? Someone can actually kill a heavenly devil demon and even take away the dragon pearl. One heavenly man looked at the Black Lake. There is a very strong extreme yang power. Elder Ping closed his eyes and earnestly sensed. He slowly said, "It is impossible for Ice King race people to have this kind of extreme yang power." That heavenly man's expression sank and said, "Could it be that someone else has entered the Sun Sacred Land? It shouldn't be, we are guarding the entrance, if someone comes, we will know. Wait here for your heavenly mother, maybe she knows what is going on." Elder Ping said, "Ice King race bastards, I must exterminate them." That heavenly man furiously said. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing arrived at a mountain forest with Ice King race people. Day has already brightened when they arrived. There are many holes in the trees inside the mountain forest. These are the residences of the Ice King race people. Qin Yun went to village Chief Wang's village before. The ice race people also live like this. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing arrived at a cave residence inside a large tree. "You two wait for our clan king to return. Before that, you cannot leave our village. You have the divine space ice dragon pearl in your hands. Although our Ice King race doesn't want the dragon pearl, we still want to discuss this matter." That old man said. "All right." Qin Yun nodded. He also wants to meet the clan king. He cannot remember that 9 desolate great land once had an ice race. Could it be that ice race is too weak, so I never noticed them? Qin Yun took out the heaven leaping shuttle from inside the tree hole. Xian Rujing followed Qin Yun into the heaven leaping shuttle, and said, "Back when you were 9 Sun Palace King, your main focus was on heavenly law divine domain. Naturally you did not notice other races." "Maybe so," Qin Yun said with smile, then took out the divine space ice dragon pearl. He handed it over to Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing took it and looked, then said with frown, "My snow goddess totem has appeared." Qin Yun looked at the back of her snow-white hand and sure enough, there are faint white totem runes. Dragon Pearl also has totem runes. Qin Yun said, "This small pearl indeed has Ice Dragon totem inheritance. It is fusing with my snow goddess totem." Xian Rujing is somewhat looking forward to it. She looked at the divine space Ice Dragon Pearl, and said in low voice, "I wonder what will happen after I fuse with the Ice Dragon totem." While speaking, she vigorously pulled and tore apart the clothes on her body. She doesn't seem to mind that Qin Yun is beside her. Many totem runes appeared on Xian Rujing's flawless body, moreover they are still moving. Amazingly, the Ice Dragon totem on the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl is like ants moving house. It is entering Xian Rujing's body bit by bit. Xian Rujing's brows are creased and she said in deep voice, "Very cold. Divine Space Ice Dragon totem is truly awesome." Her body suddenly emitted burst of cold air. "Do you need my help?" Qin Yun asked. "Come," Xian Rujing said, "I need your 9 sun sacred veins help. Let's cultivate Sun and Moon Heart Sutra 3rd level." Although Xian Rujing is ice cold towards Qin Yun, she has already acknowledged him as her man. Therefore, the two of them are very close. Two of them are now cultivating together and a strange situation occurred. Xian Rujing's body is burning hot and Qin Yun's body is ice cold. This kind of power is caused by the Ice Dragon totem inside the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl. Xian Rujing has already obtained the Ice Dragon totem but has not completely fused with it. Even though Qin Yun is an inscription master, he is powerless when it comes to totem fusion because it is beyond his understanding. Not long after, Xian Rujing and Qin Yun's situation stabilized. Xian Rujing's totem seems to have evolved and she has become very spirited. Qin Yun is somewhat tired but seeing Xian Rujing's great harvest, he is very happy in his heart. "Sister Rujing, how is your situation now?" Qin Yun slightly hugged the beautiful woman in his bosom who is emitting a faint cold fragrance. Xian Rujing's face is somewhat tender and beautiful. She leaned on Qin Yun's chest and said in soft voice, "I also don't know, it seems like I have mastered Ice Race's ability. This is very good." Qin Yun said with smile. Thank you," Xian Rujing said in soft voice and then looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun faintly smiled, then kissed the beautiful woman's vermilion lips. Both of them spent a sweet night together. Next morning, Xian Rujing is elegantly wearing clothes. Her elegant eyebrows are slightly creased as she asked, "Qin Yun, do you think Ice King race people want to snatch away the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl? Even if they want to snatch it away, it won't be that easy." Qin Yun said with smile, "If we want to leave, we can leave at any time. I just want to ask their clan king a few things." Xian Rujing is wearing simple and unadorned white clothes. After her ice snow goddess totem evolved, her aura has become even more ice-cold. However, in Qin Yun's eyes, she seems a lot more gentle. Qin Yun looked at the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl in his hand and said, "I thought I could contact Divine Space Ice Dragon through this Dragon Pearl but I did not succeed. Maybe the method is wrong." Xian Rujing said, "That is why I have to ask Ice King Race's clan king." Qin Yun stored the Dragon Pearl, then walked towards Xian Rujing, gently caressed her absolutely beautiful face, and said with smile, "Sister Rujing, it seems like your emotions are gradually recovering." "I don't know." Xian Rujing faintly sighed. "I just feel that being together with you gives me a very comfortable feeling. I don't know what kind of feeling it is." "It is called happiness, it is called happiness." Qin Yun kissed her vermilion lips and said with smile, "You will surely recover completely later. But I don't want this kind of feeling. This kind of feeling makes me feel very tired." Xian Rujing finished speaking and her expression suddenly became somewhat cold. "It doesn't matter, just do it bit by bit, you will get used to it. Wait until you see Sister Kiru and the others, your emotions will surely recover even faster," Qin Yun said. At this time, a voice came from outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. "Little friend Qin Yun, our clan elder wants to see you." The person speaking is the old captain of the Ice King race. Qin Yun thought about it, then tidied up his clothes and left the heaven-leaping shuttle with Xian Rujing. "What matter does your clan elder want to see me for?" Qin Yun asked. "I also don't know, he said it is an important matter," the old man said. Qin Yun stored the heaven-leaping shuttle and left the tree hole with Xian Rujing. After they came out of the tree hole, they saw an old man with a big nose and gloomy eyes standing outside. Chapter 2046. Elder Chen is floating outside the tree hole. His hand is holding a white ice-long staff. There is a snow-white skull on top of the staff. There were 2 dark green eyeballs embedded in the skull's eyes. At first glance, it looked quite eerie and frightening. Moreover, there is a very large necklace hanging on Elder Chen's neck. The pearls on the necklace are all small white skulls the size of a thumb. They are also condensed from ice. Elder Chen, what are you talking about? The old captain said with frown. He has a very good impression of Qin Yun. He led a team to protect the divine space ice dragon pearl for many years. He knows how powerful heavenly devil demons are. They are basically unable to deal with them. Only after Qin Yun appeared, they were captured and the dragon pearl was taken away. Elder Chen's sinister eyes are filled with green light. He stared at Qin Yun and coldly said, "This person is a Bane star. He will bring calamity to our tribe." Originally, Qin Yun thought that Elder Chen was a charlatan. That's because Elder Chen looked like a charlatan from a primitive tribe that pretended to be mysterious. But after carefully sizing up Elder Chen, he feels that Elder Chen has some ability. "Elder Chen, how can you see that I am a Bane star?" Qin Yun's expression is indifferent. His handsome face has a slight smile. Xian Rujing's expression is ice-cold. She looks elegant and beautiful. Her overbearing killing intent made that Elder Chen feel as if he is facing a great enemy. You are a dangerous guy. You should quickly leave our tribe." Elder Chen pointed at Qin Yun and said, "All right, we will leave now." Qin Yun said, he originally wanted to meet the Ice King, but since Elder Chen has ordered him to leave, he has no choice but to leave. "Wait!" Elder Chen saw Qin Yun and Xian Rujing flying out of the tree hole and suddenly shouted, "What else do you want?" Xian Rujing coldly glared at Elder Chen. After Xian Rujing fused with the Ice Dragon Totem, the cold air released from her body caused the Ice King race people to feel shock. "I want to see the divine space Ice Dragon Pearl." Elder Chen looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out the Dragon Pearl and placed it on his palm. Elder Chen looked at the Dragon Pearl. The green light in his sinister old eyes became even more intense. "All right, you can leave now." After Elder Chen finished speaking, he looked at the captain and said, "Captain Yu, send them off." Qin Yun doesn't know what Elder Chen was looking at just now. He stored the Dragon Ball and left with the old captain together with Xian Rujing. Captain Yu shook his head and sighed. While flying, he said to Qin Yun and Xian Rujing, "You two, if it were not for you, the divine space ice dragon pearl might have already fallen into the hands of heavenly law divine domain. Our ice royal race must thank you." "What is going on with that Elder Chen?" Xian Rujing asked. "I don't know about Clan Elder Chen, but he has a very high status in the clan. He knows a lot of things." Captain Yu said, "Elder Chen wants me to leave your tribe. It is not his own idea. It is Divine Universe Ice Dragon's idea. He can communicate with the Ice Dragon." Qin Yun said. "Ah." Captain Yu was shocked. "Little friend Qin, why did Ice Dragon chase you away? Logically speaking, you prevented his Dragon Ball from falling into the hands of the Celestials, so he should be grateful to you." Qin Yun said with laugh, "Because I am indeed very dangerous, I can bring disaster to your ice royal race." Captain Yu did not speak. He thought that Qin Yun would be angry, but Qin Yun is not angry at all. Qin Yun said, "Ice Dragon has always been protecting your ice royal race. He told Elder Chen to chase me away. It seems like he is always paying attention to the situation here." Qin Yun is very happy in his heart because Ice Dragon is not dormant. He must know where the Sun Seed is. Now, as long as he meets Great Sage Wu, he can communicate with Ice Dragon and ask about the whereabouts of the Sun Seed. What he is worried about is that Ice Dragon is not willing to hand over the Sun Seed to him. "Little friend Qin, how do you know so many things?" Captain Yu asked. Qin Yun smiled and did not say anything. He flew out of the mountain forest in a short while. After arriving outside, just as Captain Yu was about to bid farewell to Qin Yun, a cold air rushed over from distance. Captain Yu very happily said, "Clan King and the others have returned." A large group of people arrived along with the cold air. There are several tens of them. They are releasing a very strong ice-cold aura. Xian Rujing immediately tightly held Qin Yun's hand and sent sound transmission to him. This Ice Royal King is very strong. The Ice Royal King is indeed very strong. None of the people around him are weak. Captain Yu promptly walked over and told a tall and sturdy old man about the divine space ice dragon pearl. The tall and sturdy old man is floating in the sky. The people behind him are patiently listening to Captain Yu's narration. From time to time they would look at Qin Yun with amazement in their eyes. "It is like this," Elder Chen said that he is a calamity star and did not let him stay in the tribe. Captain Yu said, "That tall and sturdy old man is the Ice Royal King. He looks very strong and his body is releasing a very threatening aura." He looked at Qin Yun and said with straightforward smile, "Little friend Qin, since you have helped us greatly, as the Ice Royal King, I must properly entertain you. Let's go back." "No need, it is enough to see the Ice Royal King's elegant demeanor," Qin Yun said with laugh. "Elder Chen is right, I am a calamity star, I don't want to bring disaster to your Ice Royal race." Behind the Ice Royal King is a handsome and stern-looking youth. He is wearing a scholarly white gown, a jasper hanging on his waist and a jade crown on his head. The youth said to Qin Yun, "Since the heavenly devil demon inside the divine space ice dragon pearl has been destroyed, the dragon pearl should be returned to its original owner. The original owner is the divine space ice dragon, but now the divine space ice dragon can no longer use the dragon pearl. Since we are the protectors of the divine space ice dragon, the dragon pearl should belong to us. Junior King. Whoever obtains the dragon pearl, it belongs to them, we cannot take it by force," Captain Yu said in low voice. "The dragon pearl is now in his hands, he doesn't have enough strength to protect it." While speaking, the Junior King arrived in front of Qin Yun in a flash and extended his hand to grab Qin Yun's shoulder. Courting death. Xian Rujing became furious. Her ice-cold beautiful eyes shot out too swift and fierce energy that transformed into a burst of gale and blew away the Junior King. The Junior King is also extremely furious. "You bunch of weak, sacred, desolate people only relied on Sun Spirit to kill the heavenly devil demon. You don't have enough qualifications to take possession of the divine space ice dragon pearl." Xian Rujing is very strong. The ice-cold power she released caused all the Ice Royal race people present to be secretly amazed. Even the Junior King is secretly terrified. "Then what qualifications do you have?" Qin Yun asked. "I have divine space ice dragon's blood inside my body. I am the only person in the Ice Clan who can fuse with divine space ice dragon's blood. After I transform into a dragon, I will become a divine space ice dragon." The Junior King's face is filled with arrogance. He wanted to attack again, but he was stopped by his father, the Ice Royal King. The Ice Royal King said to Qin Yun with smile, "Little friend Qin, my son has offended you, please forgive him. You are an expert, you should not bicker with this kind of young and frivolous guy." The Junior King is still angrily looking at Qin Yun because in his eyes, the dragon pearl should belong to his Ice Royal race. However, whether it is his father or the elders of his race, none of them have any intention to take back the dragon pearl. This is very hard for him to understand. Qin Yun really doesn't want to bicker with the Junior King. In his eyes, the Junior King is the same as those naughty brats. He doesn't want to bicker with a child, he said with smile. "Ice Royal King, do you have divine space ice dragon's blood?" "We do, it has been passed down for many years. This divine space ice dragon's blood is very strange, it has very strong regenerative power. Half a vat of blood will become full after being stored for a period of time," the Ice Royal King said. Qin Yun said. Then what is the matter with fusing with divine space ice dragon's blood? The Ice Clan has many tribes. Every year the children born will be sent to our royal race tribe. We will drip the divine space ice dragon's blood on those children to test whether or not they can fuse with the dragon blood. The Ice Royal King said. If they can fuse, what will happen? Qin Yun asked, then looked at the Junior King. The Junior King coldly replied, if they can fuse, they will obtain the inheritance of the divine space ice dragon, like me. I will become the strongest person in the Ice Clan. Ice Royal King, do you have any more dragon blood? I want to give it a try. Qin Yun said. Ridiculous, you are a guy from Sacred Desolate, you don't even have Ice Clan bloodline, how can you fuse with Ice Dragon's blood? The Junior King said with sneer. The Ice Royal King took out a small bottle, handed it over to Qin Yun and said, although this blood is precious, it can be regenerated, I will give you a small bottle. Qin Yun wants the dragon blood, mainly to see whether or not Xian Rujing can obtain the approval of the Ice Dragon. The divine space Ice Dragon has been hiding in the Sun's sacred land for so long, it must have received special care from the Ice Sun. Among the 9 suns, the Ice Sun is also very strong. Qin Yun researched it before. Many thanks. Qin Yun promptly expressed his thanks and said, we will take our leave, see you again. Alright. The Ice Royal King is a very straightforward person, moreover, he can see that Qin Yun has the demeanor of an expert, he knows that Qin Yun's origin is extraordinary. Just as Qin Yun and Xian Rujing were about to leave, a majestic aura suddenly rushed over from the distance. Ear-splitting drum sound reverberated over, this kind of drum sound is like the roar of a dragon. Qin Yun's expression abruptly changed, he said, Heavenly Mother has arrived. She must have come for me. Sacred King Heavenly Mother? The Ice Royal King's expression sank. Are you sure that Sacred King Heavenly Mother has arrived? Heavenly Mother travels, 10,000 dragons roar together. Qin Yun's expression became grave. He looked at the direction of the majestic aura and said in deep voice, Ice Royal King, although you are very strong, you are not enough to deal with Heavenly Mother. Are you looking down on my father? The Junior King furiously said. The Ice Royal King vigorously knocked the Junior King's head, then said to Qin Yun, Heavenly Mother must have come for me. Little friend Qin, you leave first. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing immediately left. After they flew far away, they entered the heaven-leaping shuttle and concealed themselves. Then they quietly turned around and flew back to the Ice Royal Tribe. Chapter 2047. After the heaven-leaping shuttle flew over, it saw a large patch of golden mist. Seeing the mist, Qin Yun's face became even more solemn. He muttered, I hope the Ice Race King can hold on. Is the sage monarch Heavenly Mother really that strong? Ice Race King is already very strong, moreover, inside the Sun's sacred land, the environment is very beneficial to him. Xian Rujing saw Qin Yun's worried expression, but she feels that Ice Race King can fight against Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun shook his head and said, It's hard to say. If the Ice Race King can't hold on, maybe Ice Dragon will take action. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon had already fused with the Sun's sacred land, and through the entire Sun's sacred land, it absorbed and stored a large amount of the power of the 9 suns. Therefore, Qin Yun believed that the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon would definitely be able to repel the sacred monarch Heavenly Mother. What he was most worried about was that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon wouldn't be able to fight when the time came. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew through the thick golden fog. The golden mist had a very strong resistance, causing the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly very slowly. What did those heavenly men do? Why is the golden mist so strong? Xian Rujing said in amazement, seeing the heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly slow down. This is a barrier. Qin Yun said. They released a very large barrier. It should be to prevent other powerful energies from entering. It seems that the group of heavenly people have made sufficient preparations. Suddenly, two huge figures appeared in front of them. It was the colossal sky-armored guard. Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to conceal itself, not releasing any aura at all. After turning invisible, the heaven-leaping shuttle was hidden in the golden fog. It was very difficult to discover it. Only the giant sky-armored guards were patrolling this area. Their mental power was limited, so it was difficult for them to detect the existence of the heaven-leaping shuttle. Their strength should be at least heavenly sage, right? Did these heavenly armor guards come from that life creation pool? Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun nodded and said, they came out from the pool of life, but they also need the Heavenly Mother to go to the pool of life to extract them. In short, when the Heavenly Mother needs them, she will go to the pool of life. Just like drawing water, she will take out these heavenly armor guards. They also need to consume some energy. The natural law divine realm is a world that operates independently. There are also complicated rules and factions within. These guys have so many good equipment, they are very strong, it is really hard to deal with them. Xian Rujing coldly groaned. After all, it's the heavenly law divine realm. This heavenly law divine realm is mainly used to manage the operation of the heavenly Tao. Qin Yun began to control the heaven-leaping shuttle and slowly flew through the golden mist. While flying, the heaven-leaping shuttle would more or less release a lot of energy fluctuations, so it would be sensed by those celestials. Qin Yun had the heavenly eye, so he could see through the thick golden fog. He knew from afar that a heavenly armor guard was approaching and hid himself in time. Qin Yun took quite a while to pass through the golden fog by stopping and walking. The golden mist was like a barrier. After passing through it, they could see the Ice Royal Tribe. The Ice Royal Tribe was located in a forest. The forest was shrouded in a thin layer of white mist. At first glance, one could tell that it was formed by a very strong cold force. Could it be that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon made a move? Qin Yun saw that the Ice Royal Tribe was being protected by a very strong energy and asked doubtfully. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon had already integrated into the Sun Holy Land and could control the energy of the Sun Holy Land. Xian Rujing looked at the densely packed celestials in the distance and exclaimed in admiration. This is the battle formation of Sacred King Heavenly Mother? Such a grand display! There are several tens of thousands of formidable celestials in the distance. They are all wearing heavenly armor and holding divine universe weapons. These celestials are all very strong, they are at least great sage realm. There are also many heaven sage realm experts. In the middle of these several tens of thousands of celestials, there is a palace. This palace is located on the back of a huge eagle with a wingspan of several hundred meters. And there are several mighty golden dragons surrounding the palace. On the back of the golden dragon, or on the head of the dragon, there are celestials wearing purple gold heavenly armor and holding purple gold divine universe sword. These celestials are the core power of the palace. Sacred King Heavenly Mother is inside that palace. Is she not coming out? Xian Rujing looked at the palace attentively and sensed a wave of oppressive might coming over. Heavenly Mother is inside, I can't see what she looks like. Qin Yun said with smile. Back then, I only saw Heavenly Mother go out a few times. Of course, the few times I saw her were in God-level space. They were far more magnificent than saint-level space. Xian Rujing said, You have never seen what Heavenly Mother looks like. Is there any legend about her? Is she beautiful? Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. I have never seen her before. Her appearance is definitely passable. After all, Heavenly Mother can change her appearance. She will certainly make herself look the most beautiful in her heart. Heavenly Mother is not attacking Ice King race. Or is it that they are unable to break through Ice King race's barrier? Xian Rujing said. Ice King race's barrier is very strong. It is filled with a gloomy coldness that makes people feel very uncomfortable. Even though Qin Yun is inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, he can still feel the unbearable coldness. Xian Rujing is not feeling anything, but she knows that Qin Yun is very uncomfortable. She promptly got up and sat on the same chair as Qin Yun and then hugged his waist. Qin Yun is feeling very uncomfortable because of the coldness. Now that he is hugging the beautiful woman, he feels very comfortable. He can even breathe in the cold and bizarre fragrance of the beautiful woman's body. A tall and big heavenly person standing on the dragon's head yelled, "Ice King race, listen up, quickly hand over the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl." "What does the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl have to do with you? Why should we give it to you?" Ice King's deep and cold voice echoed out from the mountain forest. "Divine Space Ice Dragon is created by our heavenly law divine domain. Don't pretend you don't know." The heavenly being said angrily. "The Heavenly Mother has personally come forward. If you don't hand over the Dragon Pearl, then only death awaits you." Another old man said in cold voice, "Ice race was a very weak race in the past. It is not easy for them to grow to this stage. They can be said to be one of the strongest race in saint-level space. You must properly cherish your current days." "Are you threatening our Ice King race?" Ice King said with sneer. "I am not afraid of you. If you have the guts, then attack." "Refusing a toast only to drink a forfeit," that old heavenly person furiously said. "In our eyes, you are unable to withstand even a single blow. As the strongest existences in saint-level space, we are worshipped by countless experts in other heavenly domains. Only ignorant weak races like you dare to be impudent in front of us." Ice King laughed loudly and said, "No matter how strong you are, how strong can you be? If you were that strong, you would have obtained the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl long ago." At this time, the huge sun altar appeared. After the altar appeared, a very strong energy condensed at the top. Boom! The energy condensed at the top of the altar suddenly rushed towards the thin layer of fog in the forest ahead. When it collided with the top, it exploded out with a burst of intense energy wave. The vibration caused the earth to tremble. This sun altar is really powerful. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle was also blown away by the burst of energy wave. Although the sun altar's attack is very powerful, the Ice King race's defense is completely fine. "Is this all you have?" Ice King said with sneer. "You can continue attacking, I am not afraid of you." "Ice King, if you don't know what's good for you, we will not only destroy your Ice King race but the entire Sun's sacred land." The old heavenly person said with evil smile, "Your ice race can only have such formidable power inside the Sun's sacred land. If you run out, you won't be able to survive. How long will it take?" Another heavenly person said, "So long as we destroy the Sun's sacred land, you will become a group of even weaker creatures." Ice King would not believe other people saying that they want to destroy the Sun's sacred land. But if it is a sacred king, heavenly mother of heavenly Tao divine domain, then it is possible. Xian Rujing and Qin Yun are sitting on the same chair, both of them are hugging each other tightly. They are inside the control room, looking at what is happening ahead. "Qin Yun, can those guys truly destroy the Sun's sacred land?" Xian Rujing asked. "If they are willing to pay a certain price, they can do it. But they will not destroy the Sun's sacred land for no reason at all, because it will not bring them any benefits." Qin Yun said, "Those heavenly people do not know that the Dragon Pearl is not in the hands of Ice King." Ice King also did not say who has it. Clearly he wants to protect Qin Yun. Just from this point, Qin Yun is very grateful to Ice King. "Then you can destroy the Sun's sacred land." Ice King laughed heartily and said, "Who is afraid of who? Our ice race is originally very weak, but to be able to survive for so many years, we are already very satisfied. If we die, we die." Boom! The altar attacked again. If he continued to attack the barrier, it was possible that it would be broken. Inside the Ice King tribe, inside a big tree, Elder Chen said, "Tribe King, the Dragon Pearl is not in our hands. It is in the hands of that guy surnamed Qin." The young tribe king added, He is very dissatisfied and said, "The dragon pearl is clearly not in our hands, but we are the scapegoats." Elder Chen shook his head and said with sigh, "That brat surnamed Qin is truly a calamity star." Ice King said, "The dragon pearl cannot fall into the hands of heavenly Tao divine domain. If the dragon pearl falls into their hands, our ice race will also be indirectly controlled by them. At that time, ice race and divine universe ice dragon will become their slaves." "Father, is this true? This kind of legend is just to scare us?" the young tribe king said. "It's true," Elder Chen said with a very solemn expression. "The power in our bodies comes from the divine universe ice dragon. If we leave the sun sacred land, we will not be able to use the formidable power of the divine universe ice dragon." Ice King said with smile, "Elder Chen, it is good that you drove away that brat before, otherwise if he stayed here, the dragon pearl would have truly fallen into those guys' hands." Elder Chen wanted to say something but stopped. Because he drove away Qin Yun because he received the ice dragon's instruction. Chapter 2048. The barrier of the Ice Clan King tribe has been continuously attacked by the altar and is starting to waver. The thin layer of white mist has become a lot thinner. At this time, there were even more powerful quintessential Sage Realm Celestials that were constantly releasing powerful energy to attack the barrier. If this goes on, the barrier will be breached and Ice Royal Tribe will be exterminated. Even if they are not exterminated, if they fall into the hands of heavenly men, their fate will be very miserable. Qin Yun, if this goes on, the barrier will surely be breached. Xian Rujing looked at the golden palace in the middle of the tens of thousands of heavenly men and said, "Is there any way to directly attack that palace? That place's defense is very strong." Heavenly Mother has not said a single word. Clearly she is cultivating inside and doesn't care about what is happening outside. Qin Yun said, "Why did Heavenly Mother come here? Does she really not care about what is happening outside?" Xian Rujing said, "Heavenly Mother personally came here to show that she attaches great importance to a certain matter. She attaches great importance to the sun seed here, that is why she came here. This way, she can gather all the formidable heavenly men she created and form a very strong cohesive force." Qin Yun said, "That is to say, she sent word before but her subordinates did not do it properly?" Xian Rujing said, "Indeed. Heavenly Mother created many heavenly men, they are all scheming against each other, they are not of the same mind." Qin Yun said with smile, "That is why only Heavenly Mother personally takes action can unite the heavenly men she created." Xian Rujing said in mockery, "I thought Heavenly Mother was very strong, did not expect that her prestige is not enough to unite her subordinates, especially at the most crucial moment. If she cannot unite her subordinates, then she is very ordinary. Many heavenly men under Heavenly Mother are like this. Actually, this is to prevent her subordinates from forming an alliance to control her. Heavenly Mother's heavenly men are scheming against each other. It is most likely caused by Heavenly Mother secretly inciting them." Qin Yun said, "Sacred King, Heavenly Mother arrived but she did not show her face. Xian Rujing wants to see what kind of person she is but now she is very disappointed." Qin Yun said, "Not only did Sacred King Heavenly Mother not show her face, those formidable Saint Kings also did not appear. Ice Royal Tribe's side is under great pressure because if this continues, their barrier will be breached. Qin Yun, Ice Royal Race's barrier won't last much longer. Do you have a way to save them?" Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun said, "If you weren't by my side, I might have taken the risk to attack, but Xian Rujing held Qin Yun's hand and said, 'Be at ease and do it. You're my man, I don't want you to become as cold-blooded and heartless as me.'" Qin Yun faintly smiled, kissed her face and said, "You saying this means that you are not cold-blooded and heartless. You also want me to save the Ice Royal family, right?" "I don't know. I just think that you should save them." Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, Although that little Race King is very hateful, Ice Race King and Captain, you are both very good. Later, when we travel in Sun Holy Land, with their help, it will be very easy. Since you said so, I will do it. Qin Yun nodded. The little Ant Queen suddenly appeared. She was a ball of white energy within the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. With little Ant Queen's spatial power, the heaven-leaping shuttle can easily travel through Sun Holy Land, but it will consume a lot of energy. After little Ant Queen is ready, Qin Yun said in a loud voice, "Heavenly Mother from Heavenly Law Divine Realm, you came to Sun Holy Land to find Sun Seed to give birth to your own flesh and blood, right?" He let his voice spread out. Hearing Qin Yun's voice, the Ice Royal Tribe's Ice King frowned and said, "How can this guy appear? Don't tell me he wants to lure away those heavenly men? Who are you? You are not qualified to talk to Heavenly Mother," one of the heavenly men furiously said. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, "Heavenly Mother, I understand your feeling of wanting to give birth to your own flesh and blood. Because these heavenly men created through heavenly embryo are essentially not yours. After all, they are still born from heavenly Tao, moreover they are a bunch of retards." Those heavenly men immediately became extremely furious. Just as they were about to rush over, the Golden Palace suddenly trembled and released a powerful aura. "Come back!" A voice filled with dignity echoed out. Those heavenly men who just flew out immediately returned. And at this time, there was a handsome man dressed in golden embroidered clothes. He looked completely different from those heavenly men. He didn't have any heavenly armor on him, nor did he have any divine universe divine weapon. He didn't even have the slightest bit of powerful aura. This man still had a smile on his face. He had just come out of the palace and looked at Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle with a smile. But in the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun knew that this man was extremely dangerous. It was extremely likely that he was a king under the Heavenly Mother. The strongest among the heavenly saints usually called themselves the Holy King. The man in front of him was the Holy King. "Who are you? You actually know about the Sun Seed and the heavenly embryo," the man said with a gentle smile. "You are not qualified to ask me these questions. Let Heavenly Mother talk to me," Qin Yun said. "But I can tell you bunch of stupid heavenly men who came out from the heavenly embryo, the dragon pearl is not in the hands of the Ice Royal family, but in my hands." The other heavenly men were infuriated. Tens of thousands of heavenly eyes stared at the heaven-leaping shuttle with resentment. That anger turned into a gale and was very frightening. However, the man floating in front of the heaven-leaping shuttle said with a faint smile, "If the dragon pearl is really in your hands, then we are indeed very stupid. We actually wasted so much energy to attack the Ice Royal family." "You don't believe me?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "Your words are empty, making me feel like you are luring us away." The man laughed. "If we were lured away by you, then we would be the real idiots." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "Looks like the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl is very important to you. I'm guessing that there are many heavenly mothers who want to snatch the Sun Seed, and you guys are the first to arrive here. If you can obtain the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl, you will be able to find the Sun Seed as soon as possible, right? Could it be that you are the Divine Universe Ice Dragon? You really know quite a bit about the matters of my heavenly law divine realm." The man laughed. "Of course I'm not the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. In terms of understanding of the heavenly law divine realm, even the Divine Universe Ice Dragon might not be able to compare to me," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Although you are an expert under the Heavenly Mother, I can see that you don't have any heavenly veins. You shouldn't be the strongest person under the Heavenly Mother." "Amazing, you really know a lot about the matters of my heavenly law divine realm." The man was truly shocked as he sighed. At this moment, the tens of thousands of people in the distance were also in an uproar, because they all thought that the man who was talking to Qin Yun possessed heavenly veins. The matter of heavenly veins was a very confidential matter, so it was difficult to see through it. The main reason Qin Yun could see it was because he had the heavenly eye. Tianhui, step down. The Heavenly Mother finally spoke again. Heavenly Mother, you can cultivate in peace. Tianhui said, Tianhui can deal with this person. Tianhui, step down. The Heavenly Mother's voice carried an irresistible majesty. Even Qin Yun felt somewhat fearful of that stern voice. Tianhui hurriedly said, Yes, Tianhui will immediately step down. But can Heavenly Mother tell Tianhui why you want him to step down? You are not his match. You will die, I don't want you to die. The Heavenly Mother's imposing voice sounded. Tianhui didn't say anything else. In the blink of an eye, he returned to the back of the giant eagle and entered the palace's gate. Although the white jade gourd was several meters long, in front of the tens of thousands of Heaven Realm people and the few giant dragons, it appeared extremely weak. Who are you? The Heavenly Mother asked. Who I am is not important. What's important is that the dragon pearl is in my hands. You don't need to waste your energy on the Ice Royal clan, Qin Yun replied indifferently. He was also secretly on guard. If there was a sudden attack, he would activate the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation with all his strength and then let the little ant queen release her spatial energy to travel. Then hand the dragon pearl to me. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave. The Heavenly Mother said. You have no use for the dragon pearl. The heavenly devil demon inside the dragon pearl has already been purified by my sun soul. It has long since lost its soul connection with the divine universe ice dragon. Qin Yun said, You only obtained the dragon pearl to control the flow of energy in the sun's sacred land. The Heavenly Mother seemed to be angry. She raised her voice and said in a deep voice, Less nonsense, quickly give me the dragon pearl. Qin Yun took out the dragon pearl and activated the divine universe ice dragon pearl's ice-cold power. The ice-cold power rushed out, causing the group of heavenly beings to cry out in low voice. However, Qin Yun did not hand over the dragon pearl. He only wanted to prove that the divine universe ice dragon pearl is in his hands. If you have the ability, then come and take it, Qin Yun said with smile. Heavenly Mother, I want to see how much you will risk your life to give birth to a child. The group of heavenly beings flew into a rage and released wave after wave of terrifying killing intent. However, without the Heavenly Mother's order, they didn't dare to go over. The palace where the Heavenly Mother is located suddenly flashed with golden light. Intense killing intent accompanied by a burst of heavenly might rushed over. In the blink of an eye, a golden lightning bolt burst out from the palace. A figure, as if stepping on golden lightning, charged towards the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle immediately trembled violently. It suffered a burst of powerful energy attack. Qin Yun immediately activated the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. A very strong barrier appeared on the surface of the heaven-leaping shuttle, blocking the violent golden lightning bolt. And the person on top of the golden lightning bolt is wearing a golden tunic dress, holding a black longsword. She stabbed at the heaven-leaping shuttle. The Heavenly Mother made her move. Go. Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and began to travel through space. Don't even think about leaving. The Heavenly Mother sensed the spatial fluctuation. Her body surged with boundless and mighty power, causing the surrounding space to ripple from the impact. However, the little queen ant is a spatial Xian ant. She is not affected at all. She very smoothly left with the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle disappeared. The heavenly radiance appeared behind the Heavenly Mother. The Heavenly Mother is wearing a golden outfit, holding a black longsword. Her long hair is dancing wildly. Her face is covered by the golden light. It is impossible to see what she looks like. She looked at the place where the heaven-leaping shuttle was and said coldly, It's the power of spatial Xian ants. Who exactly is this person? He can actually capture spatial Xian ants for his use. Chapter 2049. Even when Heavenly Mother took action, she was unable to detain the enemy. This made the group of heavenly people hate Qin Yun even more. Tian Hui, who is behind Heavenly Mother, looked at the location where the heaven-leaping shuttle disappeared and said, "Heavenly Mother, we need to find out who that guy is. Otherwise, we don't know how to deal with him. Only by attacking the Ice Royal Races tribe can we ask them." Tian Hui, you have followed me for so many years, how can you still be so stupid? Even now, you still don't know who that person is? Heavenly Mother sternly reprimanded. Tian Hui really doesn't know. I hope Heavenly Mother can remind me a bit. Tian Hui promptly bowed and said. It can be seen that he is very respectful towards Heavenly Mother. That giant white jade gourd is not an ordinary flying magic tool. Heavenly Mother said, "Is this reminder enough?" Tian Hui immediately frowned. He dug through his memories and tried hard to recall anything related to this gourd-shaped flying magic tool. He has seen many gourd-shaped flying magic tools, so he tried very hard to think but couldn't think of anything. Tian Hui is stupid, I can't think of anyone. Tian Hui shook his head and said. Suddenly, a ball of red light appeared beside Tian Hui. A bewitchingly beautiful young man with red eyelids and long hair appeared. Although this young man is a man, his appearance and attire are very bewitching. Especially his thin jade-white bewitching face, it is comparable to some beauties. His voice is also very bewitching. He said with a smile, "Tian Hui, you are really too stupid. Tian Yen, don't act coquettishly in front of me, I can't stand it." Tian Hui snorted. The other heavenly people are watching with bated breath, because they know that Tian Yen is a heavenly saint realm expert with heavenly veins. She is a very powerful saint king and her strength is even stronger than Tian Hui. And Tian Hui actually said such words to Tian Yen, this will definitely lead to a fight. Of course, with Heavenly Mother here, they don't dare to fight. Tian Yen, do you know who that person is? Heavenly Mother asked. If my guess is not wrong, that gourd should be the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. The person inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle is the Nine-Yang Palace King of the ancient Nine-Yang era. Tian Yen giggled and said, that person is Qin Yun. Tian Hui's expression slightly changed. Almost all the people in the natural law divine realm had heard of the Nine-Yang Palace King. There were also many devas who knew of Qin Yun. Due to the storm in the buried heaven grounds, Qin Yun's name had spread far and wide. Many devas had been killed because of it. Furthermore, the altar and the divine universe amethyst in Qin Yun's hands were things that the natural law divine realm really wanted to take back. There was a divine king altar before, it must have been taken away by Qin Yun. Tian Yen said again. This person has been a great enemy of the heavenly Tao for many years. Heavenly Mother said coldly, for Qin Yun to appear here, he must be here for the Yang seed. He was once a king of the Nine-Yang Palace, so he has an extremely good understanding of the matters of my natural law divine realm, and has a deep understanding of the Nine Suns. He definitely knows the use of the Sun seed. Tian Hui frowned and did not say a word. He cursed himself for being stupid for not realizing that it was Qin Yun. Heavenly Mother, how should we deal with this person? Tian Hui asked. We don't know what Qin Yun's current cultivation is. Tian Yen said with smile. This person is crafty and crafty. Moreover, his methods are endless. If we want to deal with him, we must be very cautious. You all lead your people and use the holy talisman I gave you to search for the sun seed. I will chase after Qin Yun myself. Heavenly Mother said. Heavenly Mother, leave the matter of chasing after Qin Yun to us. Tian Hui said. Then tell me, where did Qin Yun go? Heavenly Mother said with sneer. Tian Yen used her orchid fingers to play with her long hair and said with smile. Tian Hui, Qin Yun is a ruthless character. He is worthy of Heavenly Mother's attention. Heavenly Mother personally took action to capture him quickly. If Qin Yun falls into the hands of other Heavenly Mothers, The gains will not make up for the losses. Heavenly Mother said, I can invite an altar to help. Moreover, it is the Heavenly Mother who came to the Sun's sacred land first. I have the initiative. I cannot let other Heavenly Mothers find the Sun seed before me, and even more so, I cannot let Qin Yun fall into their hands. Tianhui understands. Tianhui said in a low voice. Heavenly Mother, we will definitely earnestly search for the Sun seed. After Tian Yen finished speaking, her body overflowed with a burst of red light, turned into a gust of wind, and rushed towards the group of heavenly men. Among the tens of thousands of heavenly men, more than 10,000 heavenly men flew out and followed Feng Feili, who is emitting red light. The holy kings under Heavenly Mother all led their subordinates and flew in all directions to search for the Sun seed. Now there is only a giant golden eagle carrying a palace floating in the sky. All the heavenly men and heavenly armor guards have already left, and Heavenly Mother has returned to the palace. The giant golden eagle did not fly away, it is still hovering outside the Ice Royal Tribe. Within the Ice Royal Tribe, the Ice Race King, Elder Chen and others are all shocked. Qin Yun, little friend Qin. He is actually the Nine-Sun Palace King. Ice Race King looked at Elder Chen in shock and said in a low voice, Elder Chen, you should know more about the Nine-Sun Palace King than me. Elder Chen, who was in a daze, came back to his senses, shivered and said, according to the ancient records left behind by our Ice Race ancestor, this Nine-Sun Palace King once saved our Ice Race. There is such a thing? Then why do you still say that he is a jinx? Captain Yu coldly snorted and said. Back then, our Ice Race ancestor and the others had not established the Ice Race yet. That was after we were saved by the Nine-Sun Palace King. Elder Chen said with a face full of guilt. Just now, it seems like he saved us again. That damned Heavenly Mother is still outside, she wants to personally deal with the Palace King. Ice Race King said. Father, isn't the Nine-Sun Palace King a legend? I thought it was just a story. Young Tribe King is still unable to accept that Qin Yun is actually such an awesome person. Elder Chen said, of course it is not a story, it is something that really happened. Back then, our ancestor was only a very small faction. Back then, he was chased by the heavenly law divine realm and was saved by the Nine-Sun Palace King. No wonder he is so powerful, he can easily get rid of the heavenly devil demon. We have been unable to subdue the heavenly devil demon for many years, even the divine universe ice dragon can't do anything to them. Captain Yu exclaimed again and again. The Ice Race King said, how about I go out and fight with the Heavenly Mother, don't let her cause trouble for the Palace King. However, at this moment, the giant golden eagle outside let out a sharp cry. That cry seems to be filled with vigilance, warning the enemy not to approach. Heavenly Mother's dignified voice could be heard. Palace King, since you are nearby, don't hide. I know you are back. Qin Yun originally rode the heaven-leaping shuttle far away, but he suddenly felt that running away would be too much of a loss, so he wanted to go back and trick those Heaven Realm people. Who would have thought that after he returned, the Heaven Realm people would disappear? Only the golden eagle carrying the palace was left floating in the sky. After the Nine-Sun era, the Palace King was defeated. It can be said that there are no more Palace Kings. Qin Yun said with a faint smile. The Palace King was defeated before, I don't really like this title. No matter what, you are still the Palace King. The Nine-Sun Palace King is the #1 enemy of my heavenly law divine realm, and your style in this life is still the style of the Nine-Sun Palace King, the enemy of the heavenly law we are familiar with. Heavenly Mother said. You came here for the Yang seed and I also came here for the Yang seed. You have interfered in the Nine Suns' heavenly realm for so many years, causing the Nine Suns' heavenly realm to be in misery and suffering. It is time to stop. Qin Yun said. The Nine Suns' heavenly realm was created by the heavenly Tao. Why can't our heavenly law divine realm interfere to maintain the order of the Nine Suns' heavenly realm? Heavenly Mother sneered. That's where you're wrong. Qin Yun said. The Nine Suns' heavenly realm was created by the heavenly Tao. Who created the heavenly Tao? Not everything was created by the heavenly Tao. Qin Yun, I advise you to stop and cultivate in peace. Perhaps you can still see the day of the Nine Suns' nirvana rebirth. Heavenly Mother said, Hand over the divine universe ice dragon pearl. Qin Yun laughed loudly. Heavenly Mother, you little girl are too naive. It seems like you don't understand me well enough. If you understood me, then you definitely wouldn't be so naive as to advise me to stop. He had been tortured by the heavenly law divine realm for several lifetimes. It could be said that he had been enemies with the heavenly law divine realm for 9 lifetimes, so how could he stop? Little girl? This is the first time someone called me that. Heavenly Mother sneered a few times. You are the sacred king, Heavenly Mother. At most, you were born in the Nine Suns' heavenly realm. If you were the Heavenly Mother from the last era and you still haven't become the divine Heavenly Mother, then you should go back to the furnace and be reborn. Qin Yun said with smile. Since you are only from this era, then in my eyes, you are indeed just a little girl. Heavenly Mother did not say anything, as if she is silent. The world is very quiet, but there is a powerful anger. Even the people of the Ice Royal tribe feel very oppressed. After a moment of silence, Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, You can't be the Heavenly Mother from the last era, right? It seems like I was right. Qin Yun, just you wait, I will let you off this time. Heavenly Mother said coldly. Heavenly Mother, how should I address you? Should I call you Old Heavenly Mother? Qin Yun said with smile. Remember, I am the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun, next time we meet, I will make you kneel in front of me. After Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother spoke ruthlessly, the huge eagle suddenly flashed and disappeared without a trace. Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, She left so quickly, is she going back to the furnace to be reborn? Sister Rujing, did you see her appearance when she attacked the heaven-leaping shuttle? Qin Yun said with smile. Her appearance was covered by golden light, I couldn't see it. Xian Rujing said, She is indeed very strong, but if I had the same cultivation as her, I would not be weaker than her. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. I saw her appearance, she is not as beautiful as you. Xian Rujing is secretly proud in her heart, she lightly groaned and said, Of course. Qin Yun's expression suddenly became grave, he said. She suddenly left, she must have discovered something. Could it be that her subordinates found the sun seed? Chapter 2050. Qin Yun really does not want the sun seed to fall into the hands of those heavenly mothers. If the heavenly mothers use the sun seed to give birth to their own flesh and blood, it is very likely that they will give birth to very dreadful things. Even though it is only a legend, it is better to believe it. Heavenly Law Divine Realm has many legends. These legends sound exaggerated, but since they have been passed down, they must have some basis. That Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother discovered you in the vicinity just now. If you follow her, won't she discover you? Xian Rujing said, If she goes to meet other Heavenly Mothers and join hands with them to attack, it will be very dangerous. Don't worry, I have Little Ant Queen. Qin Yun said with smile. Just now Little Ant Queen broke through the space blockade. Heavenly Mother released very strong power to reinforce the space, but Little Ant Queen released spatial power to let the heaven-leaping shuttle escape very smoothly. The heaven-leaping shuttle is quietly following behind Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun is doing his best to hide his aura. As for whether or not Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother discovered him, he is not sure. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is very sinister. She clearly knew that Qin Yun was in the vicinity, but she did not say anything. It seems like she deliberately sent away other heavenly men to talk to Qin Yun alone. Naturally, the result of the negotiation was not successful. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother did not obtain the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl. The heaven-leaping shuttle followed the eagle until late at night. Only then did the eagle's speed slow down a lot. Inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, Xian Rujing looked at a silver light pearl in the distance and said with frown, "Qin Yun, look at Mother Moon." Qin Yun has been focusing on following the eagle. He did not pay attention to Mother Moon at night. Hearing Xian Rujing's voice, he looked at Mother Moon and discovered that it is flickering. Every time it flickers, it releases very strong silver light. What is going on with Mother Moon? Xian Rujing's beautiful eyes are filled with worry as she asked in low voice. Mother Moon is very important to Xian Rujing because she knows that it is a place where women can become very strong. Nothing happened for now. Maybe Mother Moon is devouring some kind of energy, Qin Yun said. Qin Yun, I cultivated inside Mother Moon before. I have a bad premonition. I want to go and take a look. Xian Rujing shook her head and said, I will go with you. Just as Qin Yun was about to change the direction of the heaven-leaping shuttle, Xian Rujing immediately shouted to stop. No need, that should be the extreme inland, you will be in danger. I will go by myself, Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun is very worried and said, Heavenly Mother has come to the sun's sacred land. This place is very dangerous. I will be fine. Trust me. Xian Rujing looked at Qin Yun and said, Qin Yun also doesn't know what is going on with the Mother Moon. Since Xian Rujing has a different feeling, he can only let her go and take a look. Alright, then be careful on the road, Qin Yun warned. Xian Rujing nodded. Her ice-cold beautiful eyes are filled with tenderness. Qin Yun smiled, hugged her and kissed her. If time was not pressing, I would accompany you more, Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun gently caressed her face and then teleported her out. Xian Rujing immediately flew towards Mother Moon. Ling Yuner said with smile, Xiao Yun, Sister Rujing still wants to spend a night with you. It seems that she is infatuated with your time together. I am not worried about her. I am worried that she will encounter that inexplicable heavenly punishment, Qin Yun said. Don't worry, she can surely deal with it. You should keep a close eye on that imperial sound Heavenly Mother, Ling Yuner said. The heaven-leaping shuttle continued to follow the Golden Eagle. The Golden Eagle is flying in the sky with a palace on its back. It is creating a lot of commotion along the way. It is very easy to follow it. Even if Qin Yun is very far away from the Golden Eagle, he can still follow its aura. It seems like Sacred King Heavenly Mother never thought of hiding her whereabouts because she is fearless, Qin Yun said. As for how strong the imperial sound Heavenly Mother he was tailing was, he was still unsure. At the moment, it seemed that she was alone with the giant golden hawk. The other powerful Devis under her command had long since left to search for the sun seed. She is alone, she must have come to deal with me. Now she suddenly left. Is she really going to meet other heavenly mothers? Qin Yun is very suspicious in his heart. Only until late at night, Qin Yun sensed that the Golden Eagle has stopped. His heaven-leaping shuttle also stopped. Qin Yun closed his eyes, released a strand of his soul and let his consciousness roam. That strand of his soul flew forward and floated in the sky. Although the night is very cold and there is strange ice everywhere, Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is not afraid at all. However, the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound was not afraid at all. Clearly, she had a way to fight back. And because Qin Yun obtained the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl and cultivated Sun and Moon Heart Sutra with Xian Rujing many times, he is able to adapt to the cold power of the night. He can use the power of the Divine Space Ice Dragon Pearl to prevent the heaven-leaping shuttle from being frozen. It suddenly stopped. Qin Yun closed his eyes and muttered, What is this Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother doing? Could it be that she sensed the location of the sun seed? The Golden Eagle spread its wings and hovered in the sky. Its whole body is releasing golden light. The palace is also dazzling in gold and jade. It can be seen in the night sky. Xiao Yun, maybe you don't understand the Sun Holy Land as much as Sacred King Heavenly Mother. After all, they are the strongest existences in the sacred level space. I suspect that they are not only here for the Sun Seed. Ling Yun'er said. Qin Yun thought about it carefully and felt that it is very possible. The Sun Holy Land is very big, the Mother Moon is very far away, and there are 2 entrances. The place where the Mother Moon is located is also a place of extreme een, men are not allowed to enter. Apart from this, Qin Yun has no idea what other things there are inside the Sun Holy Land. Not long after, a blue light flew over. It is a huge blue light ball, it is several kilometers wide, it is floating in the sky and releasing intense blue light. At first glance, it looked like a small blue star. Not long after the small blue star appeared, a huge white light tornado appeared. The tornado is as tall as 10,000 feet, it is soaring straight up. In the night, this tornado is flickering with white light, it engulfed the earth and let out a sharp whistling sound. Everyone who hears it feels horrified. 2 heavenly mothers have arrived. Qin Yun said in amazement. He thought that there were only 2 heavenly mothers in the Sun Holy Land. Now 2 more have arrived, adding the imperial sound Heavenly Mother, there are 3 in total. There is a Heavenly Mother inside the small blue star. There is also a Heavenly Mother inside the huge and berserk white light tornado. None of them have shown themselves. Imperial Sound, you were the first to arrive. What harvest did you get? I heard that you met the 9 Sun Palace King. An aged voice came out from the blue star. It sounds like an old granny. Qin Yun is very surprised. He always believed that even if the Heavenly Mother lived for a very long time, she would still be able to maintain her youthful and beautiful appearance. The Heavenly Mother inside the blue star, from her voice, it seems to be very old. The voice that came out from the white light tornado seems to be that of a middle-aged woman, she said with sneer. Imperial Sound, not only you borrowed the altar, we also borrowed it. You came earlier than us. Not only did you not obtain the divine space ice dragon pearl, you even let the 9 Sun Palace King escape. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother, White Wind Heavenly Mother, you have twice as many heavenly men as me, moreover you have the support of the divine Heavenly Mother. You can definitely find the Sun Seed before me. Why are you mocking and ridiculing me? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said leisurely. In front of you, I am nothing but a little girl. The Heavenly Mother inside the small blue star is the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. The Heavenly Mother inside the white tornado is the White Wind Heavenly Mother. These are all just their names. Imperial Sound, are you laughing at the 2 of us for being old cured meat? Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother snorted in displeasure. Imperial Sound, don't be complacent. If you can't break through and become the divine Heavenly Mother, you will also become old like us. When you become old cured meat, you might not look better than us. White Wind Heavenly Mother mocked and sneered. There are only 9 sun seeds, how many Heavenly Mothers are here to find them? I came too early, so I didn't find out. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. There are only 10 Heavenly Mothers in the sacred level space. Everyone is here. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said. As long as we obtain the Sun Seed, not only can we become gods, we can also give birth to our own flesh and blood. Who would miss this kind of opportunity? White Wind Heavenly Mother said. Let me add, there are only 8 Sun Seeds in the Sun Sacred Land. This is the information I received. We 10 Heavenly Mothers, only 8 can obtain the Sun Seed. Not necessarily, the 9 Sun Palace King is here, maybe one of them will be taken by him. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said, Imperial Sound, what's going on with you? According to reason, the 9 Sun Palace King has just become a sacred in this life. You actually failed to capture him. White Wind Heavenly Mother said, not only the 9 Sun Palace King, that Muyu also wants to take away a Sun Seed. Muyu already obtained a Sun Seed. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, Muyu is now fusing with the Sun Seed. Qin Yun is very bewildered in his heart because according to his understanding, it should not be that difficult to break through to the Heavenly Mothers in the sacred level space. Now there are only 10 Heavenly Mothers in the sacred level space. They actually need a sun seed to break through. Could it be that after so many years, the Heavenly Mother in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm is not as good as before? Or is it restricted? Qin Yun said in his heart. Mu Yu obtaining a sun seed also caused Qin Yun to feel astonished. Xian Rujing went over now, maybe she was summoned by Mu Yu. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said with sinister smile. It seems like there are not many sun seeds left for us, how are we going to divide them? Kill a few Heavenly Mothers and we will have enough. White Wind Heavenly Mother sneered. If you want to kill, go kill. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. You must understand clearly how we can borrow the altar. If we borrow their altar, we must agree to help them find that thing. Let's talk about it after we find the sun seed. With the sun seed, we will have the motivation to help them find that thing. Besides, who knows if this place has that thing they are talking about or not? Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said. Chapter 2051. Qin Yun is very curious as to who is searching for the item of the Sun's sacred land. For that item, they did not hesitate to lend the altar to these Heavenly Mothers. The control of the altar should be in the natural law divine realm, and it was very likely that an even stronger Heavenly Mother was searching for it. We, the Heavenly Mother with the altar, want to search for that thing together. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, I hope you guys can cooperate a bit, don't fight among yourselves. Yuan, why do I feel like you're a little afraid? What does our Heavenly Mother have to be afraid of? In this kind of place, besides other Heavenly Mothers, who can be our match? Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said with a smile. Don't forget that 9 Yang Palace King and Mu Yu are here, as well as that illusory divine universe Ice Dragon. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. When necessary, we need to join hands. Don't kill each other. Let's find the Yang seed first. Only with the Yang seed can I feel at ease. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said. Because she was already very old, if she did not go to the divine level space, she would have to go back to the furnace to be rebuilt. With that, the blue ball of light turned into a blue light and flew away. I'm going to look for the sun seed. Without the sun seed, it's useless to say anything. Goodbye. White Wind Heavenly Mother said. The huge white glowing tornado also moved quickly in one direction and disappeared in an instant. The Yang seed is hiding really well. They won't be able to find it in a short period of time. Qin Yun was secretly delighted. If he hadn't broken through the Heavenly God sealing restriction in time, these Heavenly Mothers might have already obtained the Yang seed. That was why the Heavenly Mothers hated him to death. Qin Yun did not know how to find the Yang seed. If the Mother Moon could obtain the Yang seed, maybe the Yang seed had found the Mother Moon by itself. Just as Qin Yun was considering how to find the Yang seed, the concealed heaven-leaping shuttle was suddenly enveloped by an intense golden light. The giant golden eagle was right beside the heaven-leaping shuttle. We've been discovered. Just as Qin Yun was about to control the heaven-leaping shuttle to leave, he heard Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound shout, Qin Yun, please wait. That voice was transmitted by a very strong soul mental power. The voice only appeared in Qin Yun's mind. Spatial fluctuations appeared around the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun was using the little ant queen's energy to distance himself from the dangerous Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound. You must have consumed a lot of energy to leave through the spatial Xian ant, right? I asked you to stay, not to kill you. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's voice once again appeared in Qin Yun's mind. Besides, I can't kill you. Qin Yun hesitated for a moment before replying with his psyche, What's the matter? You should have heard my conversation with the other 2 Heavenly Mothers just now, right? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. Well, I did hear it. So you knew I was following you? Qin Yun said with smile. I didn't know you were following me, but I guessed you would. Because according to the ancient records of the heavenly law divine realm, you are very interested in the matters of the heavenly law divine realm, but you do not understand the Heavenly Mother, so I feel that you will not let go of the chance to study the Heavenly Mother. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother said. Then why did you make me stay behind? Is there something you want to discuss? Qin Yun was rather calm. The Heavenly Mother could not keep him here. I want the yang seed. You have a sun seed in your hands. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. The sun seed below the 6 cities of Divine King is definitely in your hands. The sacrificial altars of the 6 God King cities had disappeared. Previously, that altar had appeared on the Great Saint Peak. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound carefully recalled these matters and confirmed that Qin Yun was also present at the Great Saint Peak. The sun seed is not in my hands, that sun seed ran away. Qin Yun said. But I can clearly tell you that I was the one who broke the Heavenly God's sealing restriction, and the altar is also in my hands. You were once sealed by the Heavenly God's sealing restriction, and you were able to break it every time. I know this, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said coldly, but I believe that you will definitely not let the sun seed escape. Even if the sun seed is in my hands, what makes you think that I would give it to you? Qin Yun chuckled and said, The sun seed is so important, would I give it to you? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, Qin Yun, I know that you have always wanted to overthrow the heavenly law divine realm that controls the heavenly Tao. But relying on yourself is not enough, you need a spy. Only then will you be able to understand the heavenly law divine realm better. Qin Yun was startled. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's meaning was very clear. She wanted to become his spy and provide him with information about the heavenly law divine realm. The heavenly Tao is already dead and the heavenly law divine realm is currently in chaos. Many Heavenly Mother Heavenly Emperors are fighting for the supreme position. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. The sun seed is also very important to me. With the sun seed, I can become even stronger. With great power, it will naturally be very easy to deal with the heavenly law divine realm. Qin Yun said with a faint smile. Therefore, I will not give the sun seed in my hands to you. Qin Yun only had one sun seed. If he gave it away and he couldn't get it in the future, the gains would not make up for the losses. Right now, he was not confident that he could get the other sun seeds. After all, so many powerful heavenly mothers were personally fighting for the sun seed. Don't worry, I don't want your sun seed. I'm just borrowing it. After using it, I will return it to you. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. If you are worried, we can sign a soul contract. Just borrowing it for a while? There's such a thing? Qin Yun was secretly alarmed. He knew that the sun seed could help the Heavenly Mother give birth to her own flesh and blood, but it seemed that she did not need to completely possess the sun seed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said again, Of course, I don't know if it will succeed or not, but the sun seed is very useful to our Heavenly Mother. We Heavenly Mothers are born from the Heavenly Tao, but we are also restricted, so we can't bear children. Qin Yun pondered for a moment and said, I can lend you the sun seed, but you have to agree to a few conditions of mine. State your conditions. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound promptly said. She saw that there was hope in this matter. Take care of your heavenly man, don't let them harm the ice race and other humans. Qin Yun said. That's not a problem. With a thought, they will have to do as I say. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. You have to help me deal with the other Heavenly Mothers. I want the altars in their hands. Qin Yun said, Don't worry, we can slowly discuss this matter. I will do my best not to expose you because you still need to sneak into the heavenly law divine realm. Sure. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound hesitated for a moment before agreeing. Because this is not an easy matter. she also secretly cursed Qin Yun in her heart. He already has so many sun altars in his hands, yet he still wants others. Also, this time you came to the sun sacred land, you still have other important matters to do. Tell me what it is. You borrowed the altar, who are you going to help find something? Qin Yun asked. I can't agree to this. Because this is a secret, I signed the soul contract and promised to keep it a secret. If I tell you, I will die. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. All right, then let's sign the soul contract. Qin Yun said. He seems to have written the conditions of the contract on a piece of beast skin. Then he released it for Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound to see. After Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound saw it, the two of them signed the soul contract and branded the contract power into their souls. Whoever breaks the contract will have to bear serious consequences. After signing the soul contract, Qin Yun secretly confirmed it and felt a lot more at ease. Many of the conditions in the contract were added by Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, mainly to keep it a secret. In other words, Qin Yun can't tell anyone about this matter, not even his closest people. After all, he is the enemy of the Heavenly Tao. If Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound and the enemy of the Heavenly Tao join hands, she will truly be done for. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is very cautious, that's why she used very strong mental power to converse with Qin Yun before. The gate of the palace above the Golden Eagle opened. After Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle became invisible, it slowly flew in. The heaven-leaping shuttle entered a large hall. A noblewoman wearing golden tight-fitting clothes is sitting in the main seat of honor. Her face is very pale. Her face is as pale as paper. It caused her beautiful oval face to lose a lot of charm. Her hair is simply tied up, her eyes are somewhat dull and colorless. She is sitting on a chair and looking at Qin Yun with her gloomy eyes. Although she looks like a lamp that is about to run out of oil, her majesty is still not reduced. When Qin Yun used Heavenly Eye earlier, he could see through the golden light on her face and see her appearance. However, he did not see that her expression is so unsightly. Nine-Yang Palace King who has experienced 9 lifetimes, you truly live up to your reputation. You look full of youthful energy, vigorous like a dragon and fierce like a tiger, but I am about to die. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound looked at Qin Yun with eyes filled with jealousy. I am really surprised that you, the high and mighty Heavenly Mothers, are actually so afraid of death. Qin Yun stood in the main hall and looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. He is not afraid of her prestige at all and said with a faint smile. The Heavenly Tao is already dead, our lifespan will also end. We are no longer immortal. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, then lightly flew down from her seat and landed in front of Qin Yun. As far as I know, the Heavenly Tao is not truly dead. Why did you become like this? Qin Yun said. The Heavenly Tao indeed does not have the concept of life and death. It only requires nirvanic rebirth. However, our heavenly law divine realm is greatly affected. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, just like your 9-yang heavenly domain, 9-yang nirvana, 9 desolate world extermination. Qin Yun nodded. Where is your sun seed? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Qin Yun pointed at the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, it's inside the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. You want to go to my place, you don't have any objections, right? Up to you. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound sized up Qin Yun and said with a cold snort, you are weaker than I imagined. With your cultivation, you actually dare to jump up and down in front of so many experts, you are truly reckless. Qin Yun said with a smile, is that so? My cultivation is low, but you seem to be a bit afraid of me. You are just putting on an act. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound thought that Qin Yun is a quintessential saint. She did not expect that Qin Yun has just become a great saint. Qin Yun brought Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound and arrived at the warehouse of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation is slowly operating. The sun seed is at the center of the formation. Originally, the sun seed was inside the nine sun divine spirit. If Qin Yun directly took out the sun seed from the nine sun divine spirit in front of Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, she would definitely notice that he has the nine sun divine spirit. He does not want Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound to know so many things. Chapter 2052. Can I come over now? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother asked. She knew how powerful the Nine Dragons' Heaven Origin formation was. She could also sense the power of the Nine Dragons' Divine Universe released by the Nine Dragons' Heaven Origin formation. Even with her strength, she was very afraid of the power of the formation. Sure. How do you want to use the Sun Seed? Qin Yun asked. As they had signed a soul contract, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother was only borrowing it. She would not take away the Yang Seed, so Qin Yun was very relieved. I don't know. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Let me go and touch the Sun Seed first. In any case, according to the information I have, our Heavenly Mother does not need to obtain the Sun Seed. We only need to borrow its power. The Yang Seed's energy was very strong. Even if the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother borrowed it, she wouldn't be able to borrow much. Qin Yun has obtained the Sun Seed for some time, so he knows how strong the Sun Seed's energy is. Furthermore, the Sun Seed's energy can be regenerated. The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound came to the center of the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin formation and extended her hands to touch the Sun Seed. She felt a very scorching power and said with a frown, very, very hot. After touching the Yang Seed for a while, she had no choice but to withdraw her hand. What made Qin Yun alarmed was that her hands were red and swollen. Furthermore, they were somewhat black. It was the result of being burned by the Yang Seed. You don't know how to use the Sun Seed? I thought you knew how to use it. Qin Yun was puzzled. There was once a Heavenly Mother who touched a Yang Seed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, but I only know that she doesn't have that Sun Seed, yet she can give birth to her own child. Has any Heavenly Mother ever succeeded? Qin Yun was very shocked. He thought that such a thing was only a legend in the natural law divine realm. He never thought that it would actually exist. Yes, however, that Heavenly Mother received extremely severe heavenly punishment and died in the end. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother frowned and left the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation because it was extremely uncomfortable inside. What about the child? Asked Qin Yun. She gave birth to a baby girl, her whereabouts are unknown. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound shook her head. For many years, the natural law divine realm has been searching for that baby girl. Qin Yun said with a frown, baby girl? When did this happen? Did the Heavenly Tao instruct you to search, or did the Heavenly Law Divine Realm want to search? It happened a few thousand years ago. We, the Heavenly Mothers, are looking for it. We mainly want to see how the baby girl has grown. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound stared at the Yang Seed, and her eyes were filled with fanaticism because she felt that she could also give birth to a child. A few thousand years ago? At that time, I was immortal King Fu Yun. Qin Yun said with frown. If that baby girl is really strong, she will definitely do something world-shaking. The baby girl is not in the Nine Yang heavenly region. In short, we have searched many heavenly regions but could not find the baby girl's whereabouts. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother sighed. Qin Yun is also very curious. How strong is the baby girl that the Heavenly Mother gave birth to? After all, she is the only existence. If you give birth to your own child, maybe you will also suffer heaven's punishment. Qin Yun said. The Heavenly Tao is dead. Only heavenly rules still operate. As for us, the children of the Heavenly Mother, we are not included in the heavenly rules and punishments. As for the Heavenly Mother that was punished by the Heavenly Tao, It was the heavenly Tao itself that took action. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother looked at her hands, which had already returned to their original state. She walked into the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation again. Qin Yun is looking at her from outside. This time, she hugged the sun seed that is emitting intense, scorching light with her hands and let the sun seed approach her chest. The intense, scorching heat caused the imperial sound Heavenly Mother to let out a burst of painful groan. She is enduring the pain, trying to guide the sun seed's energy into her body, but to no avail. After trying for a bit, she can only give up. Her clothes have already been burnt to ashes. The sun seed is very scorching hot. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother's body is completely red from being roasted. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed when he saw the imperial sound Heavenly Mother's body. Although the imperial sound Heavenly Mother's body looks very beautiful, she has no vitality at all. Her skin color is also very poor. After the imperial sound Heavenly Mother left the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation, Qin Yun promptly took out a robe and draped it over her. "Thank you." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother let out a long sigh. Her expression is very complicated as she looked at the sun seed. She said with great disappointment, "I don't know how to use it." "Do you want to hear my opinion?" Qin Yun said. "You are the 9 Sun Palace King. You have very deep research on 9 suns. Your opinion is naturally very important. Tell me about it." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother said. "The sun seed should be considered as an extreme yang item. You need a very strong yin cold power to guide the sun seed's energy into your body." Qin Yun said. "For example, the ice race, they innately possess a very strong yin cold power, moreover they are very fond of devouring flames." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother slightly nodded and said, "The place where the Mother Moon is located is an extreme yin land of the Sun Sacred Land. It will be able to smoothly fuse with the sun seed very quickly." This is also what Qin Yun just thought of. The Mother Moon is located in an extreme yin land. It needs to release the sun seed's energy so that it can be easily devoured. "But I don't have yin cold power," the imperial sound Heavenly Mother said. Qin Yun took out the divine space ice dragon pearl and said with smile, "This thing should be useful. I will help you give it a try." "Alright." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother's heart stirred. This time, Qin Yun and she went to the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation together. Through the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation, Qin Yun triggered the yin cold power of the divine space ice dragon pearl and poured it into the sun seed. The sun seed immediately shot out a kind of white-blue colored light. "Can you absorb it now?" Qin Yun asked. "Yes." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother's face revealed pleasant surprise. She immediately began absorbing the sun seed's energy. The blue-colored light released by the sun seed is very gentle. It is clearly the result of the extreme cold power and the extreme sun's berserk energy neutralizing each other. This blue-colored light has many crystal granules. They are formed from energy. These tiny granules contain very powerful energy. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother only absorbed for a while, and then was unable to absorb any more. "It's done!" the imperial sound Heavenly Mother promptly shouted. Qin Yun stored the divine space ice dragon pearl. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother also promptly walked out of the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation. After she took off her robe, her beautiful jade body, her skin is sparkling and translucent. There is a faint layer of rosy, white and red. It is like a beautiful jade. Before, her skin was dry and also had a layer of black gas. Now, her flesh and blood are filled with lively vitality. The gloominess in her eyes has completely disappeared. They have become bright and beautiful. Her eyes are filled with spirituality. Imperial sound Heavenly Mother, quickly put on your clothes. Qin Yun faintly smiled. "No matter what, I am still a man." "Palace King, of course I know you are a man." The imperial sound Heavenly Mother sweetly smiled. "I also know you have seen many beauties, but this is your first time seeing the Heavenly Mother, right? Aren't you very interested in the Heavenly Mother?" I am only satisfying your curiosity. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is a bit disappointed in her heart because she cannot see any desire in Qin Yun's eyes. In other words, she is not the least bit attractive to Qin Yun. She took out a red dress and slowly put it on in front of Qin Yun. Qin Yun is also watching from the side. There is no fluctuation in his eyes. It is as if he is looking at a very normal thing. Many thanks to your help, I was able to be reborn. A charming and beautiful smile appeared on the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's oval face. You are indeed an enemy of the Heavenly Tao. Originally I was about to die, but you pulled me back. Then do you feel like giving birth to a child? Qin Yun asked. I also don't know, maybe it will take a period of time. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said with light smile. If I am really pregnant, then you can be considered the father of that child. The corner of Qin Yun's eyebrows twitched. He promptly waved his hand and yelled, Don't talk nonsense, I did not do anything. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother giggled and said, Relax, I am not pregnant. As for the reason, I don't know. But I have indeed been reborn through the Sun Seed. Even if you are pregnant, it will be a fatherless child. Qin Yun sighed and said, The Sun Seed is yours, you should be the child's father. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said with smile. Back when the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother was about to die, she always had a gloomy appearance. Now that she has been reborn, she has become very playful. I won't admit it, Qin Yun said with smile. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother, you must remember our cooperation. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother stopped smiling and said, Of course I remember our cooperation. After I regained my vitality, my strength has become even stronger. It will not be a problem to deal with those old Heavenly Mothers. Qin Yun wants to obtain those altars, but his own strength is not enough, so he needs the help of the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. I don't want those altars in your hands. You will have to return them, Qin Yun said. I will get them when I have the opportunity in the future. As for the other Heavenly Mother's altars, I will definitely take them. Palace King, you seem to be very attached to those altars. Are they of any use to you? With your strength, you can also make those altars, it's just that it will take some time. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother asked. These altars were originally sun altars, but now they have become love gods' altars. Qin Yun's expression suddenly sank. You have a grudge with the love god? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother seems to have noticed something. Enemy, how much do you know about the love god? Qin Yun said. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's beautiful eyes flashed. She asked, Then tell me, what kind of grudge do you have with the love god? She betrayed me, Qin Yun said coldly. She was once a very capable subordinate of mine. Because of her betrayal, my sect was exterminated, and I, who was once the king of gods, also fell because of it. She even killed my lover. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother slightly exclaimed, So there is such a thing. No wonder the love god received so many rewards in the heavenly law divine realm. What kind of status does she have in the heavenly law divine realm? Qin Yun said. For many years, he has always wanted to understand the love god better. She is a heavenly mother, but she doesn't have many heavenly people in her hands. Furthermore, she is a very important heavenly mother. That's all I know, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. You have been with her for so long, yet you don't know that she is a heavenly mother? Chapter 2053. Qin Yun circled around the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound and carefully observed her. Do you want me to let you take a closer look? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother smiled and asked gently. No need. Qin Yun frowned, recalling his impression of the goddess of love. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, Qin Yun, I know you are very interested in Heavenly Mother, but there is nothing special about her. When the goddess of love was by your side for such a long time, You didn't even realize that she was the Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun shook his head and said, "No, you are still different from humans. You have a very strong heavenly Tao power on you. In other words, your saint energy is cultivated by absorbing the energy of the heavenly way, so it's very different." Really? The Heavenly Mother frowned and said, "Can you really tell the difference from the saint power in my body?" "Yes," Qin Yun said. "I have fought with the heavenly law divine realm for so many years, I am very familiar with the power within your bodies. As for the goddess of love, she does not have the aura of the heavenly Tao." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound shook her head and said, "Impossible! The goddess of love must be the Heavenly Mother. Since she is the Heavenly Mother, her power must originate from the heavenly Tao. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. She must have used some secret technique to conceal herself." Qin Yun said, "She is my subordinate, we often fight and train together, I understand her divine power aura very well." "Then there is only one possibility." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound looked at Qin Yun and said, "You should have also thought of it." Qin Yun nodded and said, "The love goddess is an avatar of Heavenly Mother. This avatar grew up in the divine wilderness, so there are no flaws. After all, you are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. If the heavenly law divine realm wants to deal with you, they will definitely do anything." The Heavenly Mother sighed. Qin Yun suddenly laughed. "Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, then are you sent by the heavenly law divine realm to deal with me?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound chuckled. "Natural law divine realm can't be that stupid, they won't use the same method to deal with you. As for you, you won't fall for the same trick twice. You are so passionate that I can't help but be suspicious." Qin Yun faintly smiled and said, "I am not deluding myself, but you are indeed seducing me." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound suddenly smiled very charmingly. Then she extended her hand, wanting to touch Qin Yun's face, but her wrist was grabbed by Qin Yun. "So stingy. Can't I touch your face?" The Heavenly Sound Matriarch snorted bitterly. "Our cooperation is based on a soul contract." Qin Yun said, "You are Heavenly Mother. Perhaps you have a way to restrain the soul contract? So, I have to let you off a little. I am not on guard against you, but you are on guard against me. Qin Yun, your actions will make me very sad." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "If I'm cheated by you, I'll be the one feeling sad." Qin Yun said with smile, "If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being too enthusiastic. You are a grand Heavenly Mother, yet you act so casually in front of me, so I am very vigilant." The Heavenly Mother flirted with her hair, and the smile on her face carried a hint of charm. "Palace King, you really want to understand the Heavenly Mother of our natural law divine realm, but do you know that we also want to understand you? What's there to understand about me? I have been tortured and sealed by the heavenly law divine realm. Don't you know me well enough?" Qin Yun spread out his hands, finding it extremely funny. "We are all very curious. How did you come to be the Palace King? Have you ever thought about this question?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. "Of course I've thought about it, but it's not important to me at all," Qin Yun said with a smile. Back then, he was the king of the Nine-Yang Palace. He had no impression of how he got there. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with a mysterious expression, "Palace King, let me tell you a secret. This is the result of our Heavenly Law Divine Realm's research on you. Only a few Heavenly Mothers know about it." "What secret? How do you know?" Qin Yun also wanted to know how much the Heavenly Law Divine Realm knew about him. "As long as we eat your heart, we Heavenly Mothers will be able to break through the sky." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with a serious expression, "Do you know about this yourself? What's so delicious about my heart?" Qin Yun shook his head and smiled, then touched his chest. "It's not this heart." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Back then, when you were imprisoned and tortured, there were a few divine Heavenly Mothers who participated. They were all searching for your true heart. That heart is called the soul heart, it's within the soul. Soul heart. Qin Yun said with a frown. I don't even know about this thing. When I was tortured back then, no one asked me for the soul heart. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. I don't know about that. In short, I heard that you have a soul heart. After eating your soul heart, I can transcend the heavenly Tao and break through the heavens. Qin Yun immediately fell into deep thought. He thought of the heavenly eye. Back then, when his consciousness entered the space inside the heavenly eye, he heard a voice saying something about going home. He even said that if he couldn't remember, he wouldn't be allowed to go home. Later on, he even obtained the heavenly eye. This matter had always puzzled him. This was something that he did not even know when he was the king of the Nine-Yang Palace. Now, when he combined it with what Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound had said, he suddenly felt that his life experience was very bizarre. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. His eyes turned purple-red and surged with a heavenly might filled with deterrence as he looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. When Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound saw Qin Yun's eyes, she immediately let out a terrified scream and retreated. Her delicate body trembled non-stop. What are you doing? Don't come over. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound saw the heavenly eye and was scared out of her wits. Qin Yun used the heavenly eye to look at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's head. He discovered that there is a ball of faint golden light inside her head. Is that the soul heart? Qin Yun is astonished. This Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound has a soul heart. The soul heart should be located in the spiritual world of the soul. Apart from seeing the soul heart, he also discovered something very special. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound has already retreated to the wall. Her face is filled with fear as she looked at Qin Yun. She did not dare to speak again. Qin Yun put away the heavenly eye and returned to its original appearance. That is, heavenly eye. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound took a deep breath and asked. And Qin Yun said, I just saw your soul heart. In your spiritual world, it is a flower, right? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said in astonishment, You saw a flower? I don't know what it is, but it has existed in my spiritual world for many years. Qin Yun believes that his soul heart has not been cultivated yet. In his spiritual world, there is only Ling Yuner, but Ling Yuner is only a Tao spirit. How can the heavenly eye be with you? You are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. Before the heavenly Tao underwent nirvana, it actually gave you its most precious heavenly eye. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's face is filled with disbelief. I used the heavenly eye and saw a very strange situation on your body. Qin Yun also doesn't know how he obtained the heavenly eye, so he did not answer. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound hastily asked, What strange situation is on my body? You have 2 sun seed energy in your body. In other words, before you absorbed the sun seed's energy, your body already had the sun seed's power. Qin Yun said, What's going on? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is also very astonished. She immediately sensed the energy in her body, but she can't sense anything. I suspect that all of you heavenly mothers were born from the sun seed. Qin Yun said, The sun seed energy in your body is aging and drying up. If you don't get replenished, you will die. Therefore, by absorbing new sun seed energy, you can be reborn. In other words, the sun seed energy is your lifespan. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is startled. She paced back and forth a few steps and said, If that's the case, then what's the deal with giving birth? You can't be considered real living beings, so you can't give birth. Your body is only formed from the sun seed energy and then controlled by your soul. Qin Yun said indifferently. To be precise, you are just very high-level puppets. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is dumbstruck. She is so shocked that she gasped for breath. Then what's going on when a heavenly mother gave birth to a child? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound now has a better understanding of herself, but she can't accept this kind of thing. This is something they never knew before. That Heavenly Mother should have cultivated her true body. Qin Yun said, "Whether it is your Heavenly Mother, Heavenly Man or Heavenly Armor Guard, they are all puppet bodies condensed from the power of the Heavenly Tao. You are not real life." Puppets with flesh and blood could be created, but it was impossible for them to reproduce like real life. The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound understood puppets very well because they often used them. They, the high and mighty Heavenly Mothers in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, were actually just puppets of the Heavenly Tao. The Heavenly Tao had already undergone nirvana and no longer provided them with energy, so they began to age. The Goddess of Love should know this. Furthermore, she has extremely high authority, which is why she used the altar to collect the power of sacrifice to cultivate her own stronger true body. Qin Yun said, this discovery was very important to him, because it allowed him to have a deeper understanding of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm. The Heavenly Mother of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm was very powerful. Now that he knew that these Heavenly Mothers were all puppets, he could find their weaknesses. Impossible, impossible. We are so powerful, how could we be puppets? The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound could not accept this. If I were the heavens, then the clay figurines I made out of mud would definitely be very powerful. Qin Yun said with a smile. You guys are similar to this kind of existence. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound bit her lips and said, Palace King, then what's with me having my own soul? I still have a soul heart. That's what you said. Your bodies are puppet bodies, but your souls are also bestowed by the Heavenly Tao. Maybe you are the seed of a strand of the Heavenly Tao's soul. Qin Yun chuckled. It seems that you are also the embodiment of the Heavenly Tao. Chapter 2054. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound sat on the ground. She had lived for so many years, and in the saint level space, she could be said to have a high status and authority. She was second only to one and above tens of thousands. However, she was only a puppet. Although she was temporarily not being controlled by anyone, she could be at the mercy of the Heavenly Tao at any time. Although I am the enemy of Heavenly Tao, I can resist Heavenly Tao and you can't. Qin Yun said, Palace King, the Heavenly Tao is undergoing nirvana. If he is reborn, will he be able to control us again? When Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound thought of Qin Yun's heavenly eye, she knew that Qin Yun wasn't lying. She just couldn't accept it. Yes, at that time, he might let all of you go back to the furnace, and then get a new batch of Heavenly Mother celestial beings, and set up a new order of the Heavenly Tao. Qin Yun said, Therefore, the Love God must take this opportunity to cultivate a powerful true body and break away from the control of the Heavenly Tao. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound gritted her teeth and said, I also want to cultivate a true body. Do you know what to do? You have to give up your current body. Are you willing? Asked Qin Yun. Although I have cultivated doppelgangers, those doppelgangers are not as strong as my current body. Moreover, they are all very fragile. I don't have the heart to cultivate them. The Heavenly Mother shook her head and said, It seems like the Goddess of Love already knew about this. That's why she cultivated the avatar of the Goddess of Love to be very powerful. Qin Yun said, The reason why the Love Goddess can cultivate avatar and is not restricted by the Heavenly Tao is very likely because she made a great contribution. She cheated me miserably, so she got this opportunity. He looked coldly at the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother and said, Don't trick me like she did. Sooner or later, I will make the Goddess of Love pay in blood. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound knew how terrifying Qin Yun was. For him to obtain the precious Heavenly Eye, he must have grasped some formidable power. Don't worry. The Heavenly Mother calmed down. What she needed to do now was to cooperate with Qin Yun. When I'm ready, I'll take action immediately and help you get those altars. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound said. If she wanted to cultivate a good body and rid herself of her puppet body, she could only seek Qin Yun's help. Oh right, you should have something like a heaven vein, right? Qin Yun said. The vein of the heavens is what we use to absorb the heavenly energy. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound spread open her palm, and a dozen or so golden threads overflowed from it. She said, "This kind of thing can be cultivated again after being extracted. I'll give it to my celestials, and they'll advance by leaps and bounds." Why doesn't that Tianhui have heavenly veins? You are quite biased. Qin Yun said with smile. Tianhui treats me with respect, and his words are nice, but he won't amount to much. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother snorted. These fellows under me are quite good at scheming and plotting against each other, but they are far from being able to fight against the holy kings under the other Heavenly Mothers. Can you give me a heaven vein? Qin Yun looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's palm and asked. How can one be enough for you? A guy like you needs at least 9. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, then took out 9 shining golden threads and said, use them together with sacred veins. Qin Yun took it and stored it in the Nether Sun. Then the Nether Sun fused it with his 9 sacred veins. Even the holy kings under the Heavenly Mother have to put in great effort to obtain 1 heaven vein. Yet the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother casually gave Qin Yun 9. If those holy kings knew about this, they would vomit blood out of jealousy. Palace King, show me a clear path. How can I break away from the control of Heavenly Tao? I always thought that I was a child of Heavenly Tao and was favored by Heavenly Tao. I never expected that I am just a tool. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Heavenly Tao is heartless. How can it favor you? Qin Yun cannot help but laugh. It can be said that one who keeps company with ink is stained black. After coming into contact with you, I also want to fight against the Heavenly Tao. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. I just gave you so many heavenly veins, you just showed me a clear path. Otherwise, I will start acting like a spoiled child. Acting like a spoiled child is useless against me. Qin Yun said with smile. But it will make you unable to bear it. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound playfully smiled. Qin Yun said, it's very simple, you can cultivate a body of flesh and blood, just like how you cultivate fairies, you can refine a very powerful avatar. Can an avatar give birth to a child? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. Why are you so obsessed with giving birth? Qin Yun said with smile. It should be possible. How do I give birth? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. You don't know about this? How do humans give birth? How do you give birth? Qin Yun said with smile. Is it that simple? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound thought about it and said with smile. Just find a man, right? Yes. Qin Yun nodded and said. There are many men, when the time comes, you can find as many as you want, give birth to as many as you want. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's beautiful eyes stared straight at Qin Yun and said with smile, when the time comes, I will borrow you to help me give birth to one, can you? No. Qin Yun immediately shouted. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound lightly groaned and said, miser! Quickly adjust your condition and take action. Qin Yun said, oh that's right, continue to let your subordinates search for the sun seed. After they find it, inform me, I have a way to collect it. Palace King, if my subordinates find the sun seed and you successfully collect it, how will we split it? I can't suffer a loss. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. How about this, we will split it in half. If we find 2, we will each take 1. If there is only 1, we will discuss it again. Qin Yun said. You help me give birth to a good child, I will give you the sun seed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with smile. No need, just do as I said earlier. Qin Yun promptly said. he hastily sent Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound out of the heaven-leaping shuttle to prevent her from pestering him. Ling Yun'er said with smile, Xiao Yun, in the eyes of those old heavenly mothers, you should be very delicious. You must be careful, he. Wretched girl, what are you thinking? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Other heavenly mothers are not as beautiful as Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, right? If you fall into the hands of those old salted meat, you will be finished. Ling Yun'er said with smile. Don't talk nonsense. Qin Yun closed his eyes inside the heaven-leaping shuttle and sensed the fusion of 9 sacred veins and heavenly veins. What made him amazed is that after the fusion of 9 sacred veins and heavenly veins, he can absorb a very peculiar heavenly Tao power. This is the direct absorption of heavenly Tao power, not indirect absorption. For example, before, he had to absorb it from heavenly man's body or devour other things to obtain it. Direct absorption of heavenly Tao power is the purest. While he is absorbing this heavenly Tao power, the heavenly Tao divine rune suddenly reacted and began devouring this energy. Very good, the heavenly Tao divine rune finally has some reaction. Qin Yun is extremely happy in his heart. The heavenly Tao divine rune should not be complete yet. If it absorbs enough heavenly Tao power, it might be able to completely mature. The heaven-leaping shuttle is inside the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's main hall. Qin Yun is cultivating inside the shuttle when he suddenly heard Tian Hui's voice. Heavenly Mother, this is the heaven-leaping shuttle? You captured Qin Yun? Tian Hui said in shock. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is inside the main hall. Her face is covered by golden light. Tian Hui cannot see her appearance. Indeed, Qin Yun has been captured by me. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother coldly said. The might within her voice is even stronger than before. Tian Hui and other sacred kings have been feeling that Heavenly Mother's strength is weakening day by day. Some sacred kings even have the intention to rebel. They want to defeat Heavenly Mother and take control of the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Now, Tian Hui can sense that Heavenly Mother's strength has been restored and he is secretly alarmed in his heart. He suspects that Heavenly Mother has been hiding her strength all along and now she is revealing her strength to deal with Qin Yun. Heavenly Mother truly wants to capture Qin Yun, however it is the kind of capture. For example, to have children with her. What's the matter? You all did not violate the orders I gave you. Heavenly Mother said. No, we did not attack the ice race. I don't know why Heavenly Mother showed mercy to the ice race. We discovered that they have many villages. Tian Hui said. I have a request for the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. We all know the relationship between the ice race and the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. If I attack the ice race, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon will not cooperate with me. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Heavenly Mother is wise. Tian Hui said with smile. Tian Hui returned this time to obtain important news. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother has been ambushed and suffered disastrous losses. Who ambushed Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother? Blue Pearl Palace is stronger than our Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is somewhat shocked and asked. It was Heavenly Mother Love's subordinates. The reason is that Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother is obstructing them from finding the Sun Seed. Tian Hui said. I know. You continue searching for the Sun Seed and tell me the location of Heavenly Mother Love's subordinates. I will go take a look. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Yes. Tian Hui will take his leave. After leaving the main hall, Tian Hui looked at the heaven-leaping shuttle again. After Tian Hui left the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace, Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother arrived beside the heaven-leaping shuttle. She knocked on the heaven-leaping shuttle and yelled, Palace King, what are you doing inside? I have something important to discuss with you. Qin Yun came out of the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, I heard everything just now. Heavenly Mother Love is the goddess of love. She is the divine Heavenly Mother. she actually personally sent people to find the sun seed. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, her subordinates must have an altar. How exactly are those altars distributed? Qin Yun is very suspicious about this. It's controlled by the supreme group of Heavenly Mothers in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm. Heavenly Mother Love is one of them, but after she lost an altar, she can no longer control all the altars. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, her subordinates should have found the sun seed and are still a match for Blue Pearl. Qin Yun can already sense that the palace is moving. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said with smile, Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother doesn't dare to fight against Heavenly Mother Love, so she can only swallow her anger. But I'm not afraid. Love God's subordinates? Qin Yun laughed coldly. It's time to greet Love God, otherwise she will think that I have already forgotten about those things. Chapter 2055. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother controlled the Golden Eagle to carry her huge palace in the sky. Both the palace and the giant eagle were huge, but their flying speed was not slow at all. Qin Yun was also making preparations in the palace. He was mainly organizing some armor suppression sacred talisman artifacts and checking the flag array that Zi Qingqing and company had taken out. Then, he asked the little queen ant to cooperate with him and make spatial cannonballs. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound took out the violet gold Divine Universe sword and inspected its condition. Qin Yun looked at the Heavenly Mother's purple gold Divine Universe sword and said, "You also use such a thing as a weapon? If not?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Could it be that you look down on divine swords refined from Divine Universe amethyst? This kind of thing looks very awesome, but I feel that it is very ordinary." Qin Yun said with smile, "I didn't expect a Heavenly Mother like you would also use this kind of thing. The purple gold Celestial Universe sword is a pretty good weapon for me. At least in the Saint class space, there are very few Saint class artifacts that can compare to it." The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, "The only flaw is that after the Divine Universe purple chi dissipates, this sword will become useless, and we will need to find a new sword." Seeking swords? I remember you have a lot of these purple gold divine cosmic swords. Qin Yun said doubtfully. That was in the past. There aren't that many now. In the past, when the Heavenly Tao was still around, we could easily obtain large amounts of it. But now we can't. There aren't many Divine Universe amethyst left in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, so you can't abuse it, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Qin Yun held many flying sabers in his hand and asked, "How did you deal with the heavenly armor?" The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother shook her head slowly and said, "Even we don't have any effective methods. We can only use sufficient strength to break through the heavenly armor." Enough power? How strong is it? Qin Yun also wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to understand more about the heavenly armor. The heavenly armor of a saint-class space is different from that of a god-class space. The sacred level space's heavenly armor is much weaker, so it is difficult to resist the attack of a god-level expert from the god-level space. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Qin Yun also understood. He said with a smile, "Then do you have that kind of strength?" If he had the purple gold heavenly armor, his defense would be even stronger. Against the purple gold heavenly armor, we can only use the sealing method. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Don't worry about this, I will be able to help you when the time comes." Qin Yun gave her some throwing knives and said, "If you meet someone wearing purple gold heavenly armor, use this. A talisman weapon to deal with the heavenly armor." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound smiled and said, "I've long heard that you have a way to deal with the heavenly armor. I'm an enemy of the heavenly Tao after all. The heavenly armor is the strongest defense of you heavenly beings. If I don't think of a way to overcome it, how am I to fight you?" Qin Yun smiled lightly. After flying for a while, the golden eagle suddenly landed on the ground. Qin Yun is also prepared. When the time comes, he only needs to hide and then secretly use talisman tools to deal with those heavenly armors. Also, he had to seize the opportunity to take away the altar. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother changed into a set of purple gold heavenly armor and wrapped herself in a black robe. She wore a ghost mask on her face and looked quite scary. Because she is wearing armor on the inside and black robe on the outside, plus she is very tall, she looks very robust, not like a woman's body type. Those guys are in the vicinity. I don't know if they found the sun seed or not, but they have an altar in their hands. I will do my best not to expose myself. If I offend Heavenly Mother Love, my days will be very difficult. Qin Yun took out a talisman and gave it to her. He said, "Take this talisman with you. When you fight, you can release dragon power aura and make them think that you are a dragon. This is a good thing." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with smile, "You really have a lot of tricks. After their altar appears, do your best to delay them. Leave the rest to me. If you can't beat them, you better run away quickly and don't die." Qin Yun said. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound laughed coldly. "Palace King, you are looking down on me, the Heavenly Mother." Qin Yun followed behind Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound and left the palace. The golden eagle and the palace suddenly became very small, only the size of a palm. They looked like golden stone sculptures and were stored away by Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. When they came out, they sensed the aftermath of the battle. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's subordinates were attacked here and suffered heavy losses. It can be seen that the subordinates sent by Heavenly Mother Love are very strong. There are sun seeds in this area? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound looked at the 3 suns in the sky and said, 9 sun seeds, 1 is in your hands, 1 is in Mother Moon, there are still 7 hidden. Qin Yun said, "I originally wanted to use the sun seed in my hand to sense the existence of other sun seeds, but I didn't succeed. It doesn't matter, we have a special holy talisman that can find sun seeds." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound took out a talisman and handed it to Qin Yun. This was refined by Heavenly Law Divine Realm's inscription Saint Master. After approaching the sun seed, there will be a certain reaction. Qin Yun took the talisman and used his heavenly eye to look at it. He said in surprise, "There is a special energy inside, the runes are also very strange. I paid a great price to exchange for this talisman." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "It can be said that it consumed more than half of my wealth." The talisman in Qin Yun's hand did not have any reaction. It means that the sun seed is not nearby. It only reacts when it's 100 feet away from the sun seed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "I need to quickly deal with Heavenly Mother Love's subordinates. I'm worried that Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother will come over." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound followed the aura here and flew forward. Qin Yun is invisible, flying at a low altitude in the mountain forest. His speed is not very fast. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is indeed very strong. In order to not expose herself, she deliberately suppressed a portion of her power. However, the aura of that power is still very frightening. When Qin Yun went over, a loud sound suddenly came from the front. The entire mountain forest also began to shake. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound made her move. A great battle that could break out at any moment. When Qin Yun went over, he was blown away by a wave of turbulent air waves, making it difficult for him to move forward. More than half of the mountains in the mountain forest have collapsed, trees have been uprooted by the tyrannical gale. The battle ahead is very intense. The battle is really intense. Qin Yun is also unable to distinguish Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's aura because she is deliberately concealing it. Her aura is very chaotic, but it is good for Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, at least she won't be recognized. After Qin Yun approached the battlefield, the talisman in his hand suddenly reacted. It is a talisman to search for the sun seed. The sun seed is indeed here. Qin Yun cannot see the center of the battle because there is a surging multicolored light energy wave. It is shrouded in thick fog. He circled around and determined that the sun seed is not on the battlefield. The altar has not come out yet. He used his heavenly eye to look, but he did not see the altar. Instead, he saw the Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound being besieged by dozens of experts. By the time he looked over, the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound had already killed 2 experts. This woman is indeed a bit strong. Qin Yun held the talisman and forcibly moved towards the location of the sun seed in the tyrannical gale. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, why didn't the sun seed run away? Could it be that it is sleeping?" Sun seed can run around and its speed is also very fast. It can even travel deep underground. The yang seed here seemed to be fixed in place, not moving at all. "I don't know." Qin Yun shook his head. "Let's find the sun seed first." He used mysterious penetration divine ability and drilled into the ground. This place has been razed to the ground by the explosion of the fierce battle. The sun seed can only be deep underground. Qin Yun arrived deep underground and gradually approached the sun seed through the talisman. What made him puzzled is that the sun seed did not release that kind of scorching energy. This sun seed was very different from the one he had obtained. After a moment, he finally saw the sun seed. It is actually a fist-sized black pearl. He touched the black pearl and can feel a trace of sun seed aura. The surface of the black pearl is somewhat warm. "What's going on?" Ling Yuner asked. "This sun seed seems to be in a cocoon state," Qin Yun said in shock. "After the cocoon, will it germinate?" He promptly placed the sun seed into the 9 Sun Divine Soul. He will ask Xieqiru about the situation later. 9 Sun Divine Maiden and Mu, you must have a good understanding of the sun seed. After Qin Yun obtained the sun seed, he immediately came to the surface. He looked at the dazzling battlefield in front of him and used his heavenly eye to look. He discovered that there are only 20 or so people attacking the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Many of them have been killed. Those 20 or so people finally couldn't hold on any longer. They can only release the altar and use the altar's power to attack the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun took out the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. The spatial cannonball he refined through the Little Ant Queen has once again come in handy. This kind of spatial cannonball can cause the space to become chaotic and sever the connection between the altar and the divine desolate. The moment the connection is severed, the altar will temporarily lose control. At this time, as long as one has a good enough storage magic tool and formidable mental power, they can take away the altar. Qin Yun aimed the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon at the altar that is releasing berserk energy and shot the spatial cannonball inside. The spatial cannonball pierced through the space and hit the altar. However, it didn't burst out of very strong energy, it only released intense spatial fluctuations. At the same time, Qin Yun used his heavenly eye to activate the light transformation sacred pupil. His body turned into a beam of light and instantly arrived beside the altar. "Let's go." Qin Yun waved his hand. Nether moon mental power as vast and mighty as the sea enveloped the altar. Then combined with the 9 Sun Divine Soul, the altar was sucked into the space inside the 9 Sun Divine Soul. With the altar in hand, the pressure on the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother greatly decreased. "Who took away the altar?" "His Majesty the Divine King will not let you off," an old man roared. "I am Qin Yun. Go back and tell the Love Goddess that she can forget about sitting on her Divine King position." Qin Yun's voice echoed. At this time, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother promptly rushed towards Qin Yun and brought him far away from this place. Because the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother and the White Wind Heavenly Mother are approaching. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother only knows that Qin Yun took away the altar, she doesn't know that he obtained the sun. Chapter 2056. This time, the Heavenly Sound Matriarch was opposing a powerful Heavenly Matriarch, causing the Heavenly Love Matriarch to lose an important altar. Offending the Heavenly Mother was a very dangerous thing for the Heavenly Mother. Once she was discovered, she could forget about staying in the natural law divine realm in the future. Furthermore, she had joined forces with Qin Yun, the enemy of the Heavenly Tao. At this moment, her heart was thumping wildly. She felt extremely excited, so she pulled Qin Yun and did not stop for a moment. She used her fastest speed to escape. It was because Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother and White Wind Heavenly Mother had both come. If they knew that an altar had been stolen, they would definitely chase it back, because they could take credit for it. That was why the Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was worried that they would chase after her. "It's far enough," Qin Yun shouted. "We have been flying for more than half a day, they won't be able to catch up. Run further away, it's better to be cautious." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was a little nervous at this moment. She was more or less worried that she would be exposed. Qin Yun said with smile, "Don't worry, when you were fighting, you didn't expose your aura, I can sense it." "That's hard to say. After all, two Heavenly Mothers are here." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "They might be able to see something, I have to be cautious in the future." "I got a sun seed," Qin Yun said. "Is there really a yang seed in that place?" When the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound learned of this, she suddenly sped up. Qin Yun obtained a sun seed and an altar. It is enough for the two Heavenly Mothers to join hands and risk their lives. "Don't worry, when I find another sun seed, I will give you one," Qin Yun said with smile. "I'll leave it with you for now. I don't need it yet." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "This kind of thing can't let me give birth, but it can let me prolong my life." She knew very well that without Qin Yun's help, it would be difficult for her to absorb the energy within the yang seed. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother flew continuously for 3 days. Moreover, she went around and around, completely leaving that battlefield. At this moment, she did not know where she was, but this allowed her to release the Golden Eagle and the palace without any worries. "I want to rest," Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. "I will contact my subordinates, I will continue to instruct them to search for the sun seed." Qin Yun said, "Previously, when Tianhui saw my heaven-leaping shuttle here, would he spread the news?" "Don't worry, he won't say anything. Tianhui's mouth is very tight." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Do you want to stay here?" "No, I have other matters to attend to." Qin Yun took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, "We will contact each other again." Qin Yun had the soul-chasing talisman of the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. He could find her when needed. He had just obtained another altar, so the other Heavenly Mothers would definitely be on guard. It wouldn't be easy to snatch another altar from a Heavenly Mother. Only if his strength was stronger could he do it. Qin Yun and the Heavenly Mother parted ways and flew towards the Ice Royal race. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for an entire night. At daybreak, Qin Yun sensed something odd. He looked up at the 3 suns in the sky. The 3 suns were still the same, but Qin Yun felt that one of the suns was releasing a stronger light. Could it be an illusion? According to my many years of research on the sun, my perception of sunlight is very accurate. It shouldn't be an illusion. Qin Yun frowned as he looked at the 3 suns. It would take a few days for the sky-leaping shuttle to reach the Ice Royal tribe. Qin Yun deliberately slowed down to let the heaven-leaping shuttle fly a bit slower so that he could feel the sunlight. At noon, when the sunlight shone on his body, he indeed felt that one of the suns was a bit stronger. This is something that has never happened before. Even though it is only a bit stronger, I can feel it. Qin Yun shook his head and muttered, "Whatever, I will cultivate first." The battle between the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother and Love God's subordinates is very intense, their power is very formidable. This made Qin Yun realize that Love God's subordinates are very strong. If he wants to deal with Love God, he must have sufficient strength. Furthermore, there are several altars waiting for him to collect. To me, the sun seed is the core of the sun creation. Qin Yun looked at the black pearl in his hand. This sun seed is completely different from the one he obtained from the 6 cities. As for how to use it, he can only wait until he meets Siekiru. He wants to create a primal divine sun. This process is very difficult. Once it is successfully created, he will obtain extremely formidable power. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for 3 days. After daybreak, Qin Yun sensed the first ray of sunlight shining down and said with a frown, "The sunlight of one of the suns has increased again." These past few days, the sun's radiance has been increasing bit by bit. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, could it be that a sun is about to fall?" "It seems so." Qin Yun's expression is grave. Once this sun falls, it will affect Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate. The doomsday of Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate is coming. Before the sun falls, it will gradually approach the earth and finally fiercely smash down. It is precisely because the sun is gradually approaching the earth that the sunlight will become more intense. Because the Sun Holy Land has a very strange ice-cold power, causing the entire Holy Land to feel very cold. Otherwise, Qin Yun would have been able to accurately determine the approximate time based on the temperature of the sunlight. Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate are about to be finished. Ling Yun lightly sighed. "I wonder when they will be reborn. Before Sacred Desolate is destroyed, I must go to Divine Desolate." Qin Yun slightly clenched his fists and said earnestly, "I must quickly break through my cultivation." Qin Yun is in the main control room of the heaven-leaping shuttle, cultivating through the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and cultivating together with Zi Qingqing and others. At this time, he suddenly sensed a talisman flickering in his storage space. It is the space god contacting him. He and the space god both have a talisman. It is connected through the sun. Qin Yun took the talisman and arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle to receive the sunlight. "Brother, where are you? Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate are about to be destroyed." The space god's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind from the talisman. It is filled with a trace of anxiousness. "I am at Sacred Desolate's Sun Holy Land," Qin Yun said. "I can also see the situation of that sun. I really didn't expect it to be faster than I expected." "Yes. Before that, try your best to come to Divine Desolate, otherwise you can only wander around in the outer heaven domain," the space god said. "I will do it as soon as possible." Just as Qin Yun finished speaking, the talisman ignited with flames. This kind of talisman can only be used a few times, mainly because the materials Qin Yun used to refine it are not good enough. Through the space god's message, he is certain that a sun is about to fall and destroy Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate. Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate's creatures should be preparing to escape, right? Ling Yuner sighed and said, "Leaving the Great Desolate is truly unbearable. Everyone is already prepared." Qin Yun said, "There is no other way. This is not the first time 9 suns are going to destroy the world." The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for a few days and finally arrived outside the Ice King tribe. The Ice King tribe was originally protected by a divine space ice dragon barrier, but now that barrier is no longer there. After Qin Yun arrived, he shouted a few times. Not long after, the Ice Race King, Elder Chun and Captain Yu hastily flew out. They are very pleasantly surprised to see Qin Yun. Last time, Qin Yun appeared and saved their Ice King tribe, otherwise they would have been destroyed. Therefore they are very respectful towards Qin Yun. Moreover, Qin Yun was once the 9-Sun Palace King. He saved their ice race in the very beginning of the era. Along the way, the Ice Race King and Elder Chun talked about many legends about the 9-Sun Palace King. Qin Yun carefully recalled that when he fought against the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, he indeed saved many people in passing. However, He doesn't remember those people were from the ice race. I'm really sorry, I can't remember your ancestors. Qin Yun smiled awkwardly and said, I saved many races and the situation at that time was very chaotic. It doesn't matter, as long as our ancestors remember you. Elder Chen said with smile. Palace King can still live until now, truly amazing. Most of the people from that era are already dead, right? The people of the Ice King tribe all know that the era of the Nine Sun Palace King is the very first era of the Nine Desolate. And the fact that the Nine Sun Palace King is still alive is indeed amazing. Qin Yun is now being treated as a distinguished guest by the Ice Race King. I came here this time to contact the Divine Universe Ice Dragon through Elder Chen. Qin Yun said. Elder Chen said that I am a calamity star. This must be the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's idea. Yes, but I don't know how to contact the Ice Dragon. In short, every time he comes to find me, his voice would suddenly appear in my mind intermittently. Elder Chen said. Oh, that's right. Do you feel that there is a sun that is very close to the earth? Qin Yun asked. I feel it, Captain Yu replied. It makes us even warmer, it allows us to absorb even more energy. The Ice Race King said with smile. Isn't that so? Our race has been very happy these past few days. The sun is very close to the earth, it has become very hot, it makes us very comfortable. These Ice Race people can absorb heat. After the sun is close to the earth will become even hotter and they will feel more comfortable, they will be able to absorb even more energy. Qin Yun carefully thought about it, then suddenly stood up and said, The Divine Universe Ice Dragon is very likely to be resurrected. Reconstruct the dragon body. Palace King, why do you say that? Elder Chen asked in amazement. The sun is very close to the earth, so the heat it releases is very strong. After colliding with the cold energy of the Sun Holy Land, that kind of energy is very beneficial for the Ice Dragon to absorb. It seems like the Ice Dragon already knew what would happen today. Qin Yun said. The Ice Race King is very happy, he said with smile. Is this true? When will the Ice Dragon come back? It won't be long. I wonder if he can defeat those heavenly mothers after he comes back. Qin Yun said. Chapter 2057. After Qin Yun interacted with the Heavenly Mother, he learned that her body was a puppet body. It was very different from the body of a real living being. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon was created by the natural law divine realm, so it naturally had a puppet body. That was why it gave up its own body and obtained the guidance of the Nine Suns. It could borrow the energy gathered by the sun when it approached the sacred wasteland to build a powerful body. In this way, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's new dragon body was reborn through the Nine Suns and Nine Desolation, and it could be considered a Nine Suns and Nine Desolation divine beast. Back then, the reason why the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was able to hide in the Sun's sacred land and escape the pursuit of the natural law divine realm was also because the Nine Suns had secretly helped out. The reason why the Divine Universe Ice Dragon betrayed the heavenly law divine realm is most likely because he discovered that he is only a puppet body and could be taken back by the heavenly Tao at any time. Qin Yun said with a smile, if he were to be reborn, he would be a new self and would no longer be controlled by the heavenly Tao. The Ice Tribe King and the others were very happy. With the Divine Universe Ice Dragon around, their days would be more stable. Qin Yun recalled Shin Yu Tianlong. The mysterious Shin Yu Sky Dragon had once laid a dragon egg. Being able to give birth to a dragon egg meant that the Divine Universe Sky Dragon had already cultivated his own body. Qin Yun, the Ice Clan King, and the others talked about many things that happened in the Nine Suns era, which shocked them. After the sky darkened, Qin Yun entered a cave abode in a gigantic tree. The location that the Ice Royal Tribe had chosen was a very good place. There was a natural formation in the ground that allowed everything to grow well. Qin Yun suspected that the divine cosmic ice dragon would be reborn in the Ice Royal clan. In the Ice Royal tribe there was a huge pond. It was the center of the natural formation of the Earth Vein star. If the divine universe ice dragon is reborn here, then I can find out the location of the Yang seed through him. Qin Yun secretly looked forward to it. At night, he looked at the mother moon in the distance. It was still flashing, still devouring the sun seed. The mother moon was extremely mysterious. Even the natural law divine realm did not have much understanding of the mother moon. I have to become stronger as soon as possible. Otherwise, even if the divine cosmic ice dragon tells me where the sun seed is, I won't be strong enough to obtain it. Qin Yun released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and let Zi Qingqing and the others come out to cultivate together. While cultivating, Qin Yun used the heavenly vein he just obtained to absorb heavenly Tao power. After the heavenly energy entered his body, it would be absorbed by the mysterious heavenly Tao divine rune. The heavenly Tao divine rune had always been half dead, and it would occasionally have some reaction. And this heavenly Tao divine rune was very useful. It allowed Qin Yun to gain a deeper understanding of the heavenly Tao and create his own heavenly Tao. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, Qin Yun was already in the Great Sage Intermediate stage and had cultivated the 5th level of Holy Brilliance. He stood in the tree hole and looked at the 3 brilliant suns in the sky. The one in the middle had become bigger, which meant that it was very close to the sacred wasteland. If this continues, the sun will become bigger and bigger and the immortal desolate and sacred desolate will become very hot. However, this sun holy land was different. It was extremely strange. The bigger the sun, the more joyous the creatures here would be. What made Qin Yun depressed is that the sun's sacred land is getting colder and colder. This place was the complete opposite of the immortal desolate and sacred desolate. Because the immortal desolate and sacred desolate are close to the sun, it is definitely very hot. However, the ice race people here are very happy every day, they feel very comfortable. Outsiders like Qin Yun and company would not be able to withstand the bitter cold if they did not have sufficient strength. Although it is cold, Qin Yun can endure it. He had originally planned to continue cultivating, but he received news that there was a running mountain waiting for him outside. The divine inscription mountain has arrived. Qin Yun immediately flew out of the Ice King tribe and arrived outside. The divine inscription mountain previously went to find Qin Long and Great Sage Wu. Now that they are here, they must have found them. The inside of the divine inscription mountain is very lively. Qin Yun saw Great Sage Wu and Qin Long, as well as the immortal desolate dragon emperor and others. They came in from another passage, the Sea Passage. They encountered many powerful strange beasts there. Fortunately, Great Sage Wu has desolate runes and is very powerful. He is also an inscription Do master, so everyone is very safe. After meeting up, Qin Yun told them about the situation here. The sacred desolate's doomsday is coming. If we don't get out in time, they can also make a decision to fly to the outer heaven domain. Great Sage Wu sighed. His great saint peak has many disciples. Everyone is prepared. The sun has also dropped many resources, enough to stay in the outer heaven domain for a period of time. Immortal desolate dragon emperor said. The sun holy land will not be affected. This is a place to avoid disaster. Qin Yun said. Great Sage Wu said, although this is my birthplace, I feel very unfamiliar with it. It is not the birthplace I am familiar with. Qin Yun said with smile. The divine universe ice dragon should be reborn soon, you can meet him then. I don't know if he still remembers me. Great Sage Wu shook his head and smiled. It has been so many years. Oh, that's right, the Ice Race King here said that he is also very old, maybe you know him? Qin Yun said. Take me to see him. Great Sage Wu said. Qin Long wanted to go with them, but he knew that the Ice Clan liked to eat food with fire, so he didn't go. He was afraid that he would be targeted. Qianlong, the fire dragon god and fire Qilin, found out about the eating habits of the ice race and felt a bit disgusted in his heart. Qin Yun brought great sage Wu to the Ice King tribe. As soon as he arrived, he found out that the Ice King tribe's small sacred lake is bubbling. Qin Yun is very happy because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is about to be reborn. Qin Yun and Great Sage Wu immediately arrived next to the small sacred lake. Many Ice King tribe people are now gathered on the shore of the small sacred lake. It is broad daylight now. The small sacred lake is releasing a faint golden light into the sky. It can be seen from far away. Great Sage Wu arrived at the lakeside and saw the Ice Race King. He shouted in amazement, "Xiao Bing! Is that you? Xiao Wu?" The Ice Race King also cried out in alarm after seeing Great Sage Wu. The Ice Race King looks like a middle-aged man and Great Sage looks like a handsome young man, but both of them are very old monsters. Qin Yun suspected that the Ice Race King knew Great Sage Wu, and it is indeed so. The two of them very happily hugged each other. Crash! At this time, the small sacred lake is bubbling even more. It looks like it is crazily boiling. However, the golden lake water is very ice-cold. Even Qin Yun can't stand the ice-cold lake water. He had no choice but to take out the Divine Universe Ice Dragon Pearl to increase his cold resistance. The Ice Dragon's rebirth is not small, especially the golden light coming out of the small sacred lake. It also has a very strong aura. Qin Yun is very worried. Sure enough, this kind of movement alarmed many heavenly beings. Many powerful heavenly beings wearing heavenly armor and heavenly armor guards surrounded the Ice King tribe. Outside the Ice King tribe, there is also a very large blue pearl. It is the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. Apart from this, there is also a huge white tornado. It is the White Wind Heavenly Mother. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother did not come. She knows I am here, so she did not come close to avoid being exposed? Qin Yun pondered in his heart. Great Sage Wu also knows about the Heavenly Mother. He is now a very strong peak heavenly saint, so he is not afraid of anything. Adding that he has Sun Soul and Desolate runes, even if the Heavenly Mother appears, he would still dare to fight. Don't worry, I can deal with those guys. Great Sage Wu looked at the densely packed heavenly beings in the sky and said in cold voice, "Xiao Wu, we will join hands, we can definitely beat them back." The Ice Race King said, "Let's go out now." "Alright." Great Sage Wu nodded. Great Sage Wu and the Ice Race King went out because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is now at the critical moment of resurrection. They cannot be disturbed. Qin Yun has already prepared the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. If necessary, he will release the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation to protect the small sacred lake. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon once integrated into the entire Sun Sacred Land, so it is very clear about the matters of the Sun Sacred Land. Those heavenly mothers are all looking for the Sun Seed. Ever since Qin Yun obtained the Sun Seed last time, the other Sun Seeds have hidden even deeper and are very difficult to find. The heavenly mothers know that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is about to resurrect, so they all rushed over. Once they capture the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, they can ask about the location of the Sun Seed. Qin Yun looked at the small sacred lake and secretly used his heavenly eye. He discovered that the small sacred lake is emitting a very strange aura. This aura is very similar to the Sun Seed. Qin Yun is alarmed. He suspects that there is a Sun Seed under the small sacred lake. He promptly took out the talisman given to him by the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. It is used to detect the Sun Seed. After he took out the talisman, it indeed reacted. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's resurrection is related to the Sun Seed. This Divine Universe Ice Dragon might become even stronger. Qin Yun sighed in his heart. After Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King came out, they released their formidable aura. Those two holy kings under the old Heavenly Mother felt great pressure when facing Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King. they don't dare to directly fight. Even those heavenly mothers are somewhat afraid of Great Sage Wu's power. After all, Great Sage Wu has desolate runes. The movement of the small sacred lake is getting bigger and bigger, the light rays are getting more intense. The ice race people at the lakeside are being enveloped by the golden mist overflowing from the water. They all let out a burst of comfortable exclamation. But Qin Yun is feeling very cold. He feels like he is being frozen stiff. He has no choice but to retreat far away from the small sacred lake. This ice-cold power is too dreadful. Is it because of the sun seed? Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration in his heart. He is a 9-sun palace king. He has seen all kinds of energy. He has seen many formidable ice-cold power, but this is the first time he has seen such dreadful ice-cold power. Just as he is retreating, the small sacred lake suddenly released a large amount of ice crystals. The ice crystals are like a fountain that shot up to the sky. Dreadful cold currents swept through all directions, giving rise to a burst of berserk blizzard. The blizzard very quickly stopped. The ice crystals that shot up to the sky fell to the ground, turning the surrounding mountain forest into a world of ice and snow. The small sacred lake is still flickering with golden light, but it is no longer boiling. A handsome young man with an imposing appearance, wearing white clothes and an ice-cold expression, slowly rose up from the small sacred lake. Chapter 2058. Palace King, you're really forgetful. We did meet a few times, but you don't remember? The Divine Universe Ice Dragon snorted. He was a little annoyed that Qin Yun had forgotten about him. Qin Yun looked outside and said with a smile, "There's your esteemed guest outside. Go entertain your guest first. We'll talk later." Although the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon had been reborn, Qin Yun could sense that it was not very strong. It was only at the peak of the quintessential Saint realm. This was because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was considered an overlord in the Divine Wilderness. Although the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon did not have the strength it had in the past, it was still the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. It immediately soared into the sky. When he flew up, his entire body overflowed with a bone-chilling power. Even Qin Yun was affected by the cold power and could not help but shiver. Heavenly Mothers from the Natural Law Divine Realm, I, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, have long since repaid what I owed the Heavenly Tao. I have long since severed my ties with the Heavenly Tao, so I, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, will no longer listen to the orders of the Natural Law Divine Realm. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's ice-cold voice was accompanied by a cold wind that enveloped the tens of thousands of people in the surroundings. That kind of bone-chilling coldness caused the group of heavenly armors to tremble uncontrollably. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon had already secretly displayed its strength when it had spoken just now. He was strong, but not invincible. If they really had to face the two heavenly mothers and their subordinates, the entire Ice Royal race would be implicated. Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon, the Yang Seed is here, and you once merged with the Earth, so you definitely know where the Yang Seed is. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl's cold voice traveled over. It seemed like she was not afraid of the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon at all. I really don't know where the Yang Seed is. If you don't believe me, then there's nothing I can do. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said, "Don't think that you can do whatever you want in the Sun's sacred land. To tell you the truth, there are demigod experts and demigod-level beasts here. You should save some strength to deal with them." A demigod existence. This instantly caused the tens of thousands of Devis to be visibly moved, and they began to discuss in alarm. When Qin Yun entered the Sun's sacred land, he could tell that the sacred land's space could withstand a half-god expert. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's words were very clear. If they fought here until both sides were severely injured, it wouldn't do any good for them. Divine Universe Ice Dragon, even though you have left the Natural Law Divine Realm, Our natural law divine realm does not owe you anything. In the matter of finding the sun seed, we can cooperate. White Wind Heavenly Mother said. The present is different from the past. You have just been reborn, so you will definitely need to consolidate your foundation, and we can provide you with enough resources. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said. Those Heavenly Mothers were smart enough to know that they couldn't fight the divine cosmic ice dragon head-on, so they used the method of bribing it. I really don't know where the yang seed is. The divine cosmic ice dragon said coldly, I was reborn through the yang seed, but after the yang seed helped me rebirth, it burrowed into the ground and its whereabouts are unknown. Earlier, Qin Yun used Heavenly Sound Heavenly Mother's sacred talisman to sense the sun seed under the small sacred lake. Divine Universe Ice Dragon, we'll give you 3 days to consider. We'll be back in 3 days. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said. They were already certain that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon knew the whereabouts of the sun seed. The 2 Heavenly Mothers and Heavenly Men had left. The divine cosmic ice dragon's eyes are ice-cold as it watched the heavenly men leave. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King are very happy to see the divine cosmic ice dragon again. But now they are very nervous, they are on guard against the sneak attack of the heavenly men. Not long after, the sky became quiet. The 2 Heavenly Mothers have already left with their people. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King immediately flew towards the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon saw them and his expression became a lot more relaxed. He even revealed a smile and said, I didn't expect to see you again. Especially Xiao Wu, although you obtained Sacred Desolate's desolate rune, your 9 souls were also taken away by the Heavenly Tao. I really didn't expect that you could still live until now. He looked at the sky and said again, in this era, the 9 desolate Nirvana rebirth, you were all born at that time. Next, Sacred Desolate will undergo Nirvana again. Speaking of these matters, they are also very emotional. Great Sage Wu also told the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon about his own matter. After learning that Great Sage Wu's 9 souls were reborn because of Qin Yun, the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon is very shocked. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon looked at Qin Yun, who is beside the small sacred lake, and then flew over. Palace King, let's talk in private, follow me. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon flew towards a tree hole on top of a giant tree. Qin Yun followed behind, although he has some doubts in his heart, he didn't say anything. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King are also discussing how to strengthen the tribe's barrier formation. Previously, Great Sage Wu also talked with Xiao Hua and the other inscription masters inside the Divine Rune Mountain and gained a lot. Now he invited Xiao Hua and the others to help him set up the formation. Qin Yun followed the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon and arrived inside the tree hole. Palace King, you have 2 sun seeds, right? The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon asked. How do you know? Qin Yun is very surprised in his heart, but his expression is calm. The sun seed told me. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon opened his palm and a white ice-like round crystal appeared. Qin Yun can tell that it is a sun seed and it is different from the 2 he obtained before. Now he finally knows that all sun seeds are different. The sun seed in front of him belongs to the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. So the sun seed is in your hands. Qin Yun said with smile. The matter of the sun seed is very complicated. Although I have the help of the sun seed, I don't know how to use it. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon looked at the sun seed with a confused expression. Don't worry, this kind of thing naturally needs time to study. Qin Yun said, I also only came into contact with the sun seed in this life. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon coldly snorted. Palace King, do you really not remember me? Qin Yun frowned and thought carefully again. Then he shook his head and said, in my memory, there is no such thing as meeting the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. Back then, I was an elder. I had conversed with you on several occasions and asked about the suppression of the Skyfiend demons. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon looked at Qin Yun with a look of resentment. Do you have any impression of it now? Qin Yun suddenly remembered that there was indeed an old man who talked with him about suppressing the heavenly devil demon. At that time, he promised the old man that he would help refine the divine talisman to suppress the heavenly devil demon. But he was too busy at that time, so he forgot about it. So that old man was you, Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon? Qin Yun said with a guilty expression. I'm really sorry, I was too busy at that time and forgot to help you refine the divine talisman. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon said. My identity at that time was special, I had no choice but to hide my identity to find you. And you are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. If you met the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon, you would definitely be on guard. If I had helped you refine the divine talisman back then, what would have happened now? Qin Yun asked. I don't know, because I couldn't get rid of the heavenly devil demon in the dragon pearl. I flew aimlessly in the divine wilderness and became disheartened. But I was suddenly sucked into the sun's sacred land and met an old man. That old man told me some things and told me to turn this place into a cold land. That old man also said that as long as I did as he said and succeeded, I would be able to get rid of the heavenly devil demon and transcend the heavenly Tao, no longer being controlled by the heavenly Tao. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon recalled the past. Its face is still filled with astonishment. An old man? Qin Yun said with a frown. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon nodded and said, After so many years, I still remember that old man's words very clearly. At that time, I only felt that he was very powerful, so I did as he said and started turning this place into a cold land. Now that you have broken free from the heavenly Tao's control and obtained the Sun Seed, he also fulfilled his promise. Qin Yun said with smile. It can be seen that that old man is truly an expert. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon looked at Qin Yun and said with solemn expression, The heavenly devil demon was killed by you and I was reborn because it is something that will forever be entangled with my soul. The conditions for my rebirth are very harsh. First, I need the heavenly devil demon to be exterminated, then I need the sun to approach the sacred desolate and also need the help of the sun seed. All of this happened naturally and that old man never appeared, everything happened naturally. Why is this happening? He looked at Qin Yun, hoping that Palace King Qin Yun would answer. Qin Yun looked at the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. From its ice-cold eyes, he can see deep fear. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon is afraid of that mysterious old man. Because that mysterious old man seems to be in control of everything. This made the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon feel that just after jumping out of the heavenly Tao, he jumped into the hands of another person who can control his fate. Qin Yun did not answer because he could not answer. It is not that he did not feel fear towards this kind of arrangement, because all of this made him feel that he and everyone else are chess pieces. Someone is playing chess step by step. The chess game looks messy and disorderly, but it is gradually forming a complete situation. I don't know. Qin Yun was silent for a long time and then sighed. You are the Palace King, with your many years of experience, you still can't see through it? The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon's voice is slightly excited, but in fact, it is filled with fear. He has just been reborn. He does not want to be controlled by others. Because his rebirth seems to be the result of many coincidences, but after careful thought, he felt that there is a mysterious power secretly driving this kind of lucky coincidence. This kind of lucky coincidence is very natural. It made the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon afraid. He is worried that he will be controlled by this lucky coincidence power, pushing him to do things and indirectly controlling his fate. This kind of power can control his life and death without him knowing. It is much more brilliant and terrifying than the heavenly Tao that controlled the heavenly law divine domain. Let nature take its course. Since you and I are still alive, we should muster up the courage to live and find the answer. Qin Yun faintly smiled. No matter what, you obtain the sun seed that the Heavenly Mother spent so much effort to find. This is a good thing. Palace King, the most important goal of those Heavenly Mothers in coming to the Sun's sacred land is not to find the sun seed. Do you know what they are looking for? The divine cosmic ice dragon let go of the fear in his heart. The current him can only live in peace and become stronger, only then can he find the answer. Chapter 2059. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's expression was indifferent as he slowly nodded and said, Palace King, do you know why the Heavenly Law Divine Realm is so concerned about the Nine Suns' heavenly domain? Because the Nine Suns' heavenly domain is different. Qin Yun said, with the Nine Suns' heavenly domain as the center, most of the 3,000 heavenly domains only have 1 or 2 heavenly suns, at most 3 or 4. But our Nine Suns' heavenly domain has 9. Qin Yun was very sure of this point. Back then, the Nine Suns' royal family was so powerful that they swept through the 3,000 heavenly domains. No heavenly domain could contend against them. In the end, they could only submit to the Nine Suns' royal family. The 3,000 heavenly domains obtained the inheritance of the Nine Suns' royal family and gradually became stronger. After that, due to many reasons, the Nine Suns' royal family finally disintegrated and was completely exterminated. Because of this, the Nine Suns' heavenly domain began to fall to the ground every tens of thousands of years. The Nine Desolate and the Nine Suns experienced many nirvanas. In this way, even if the other heavenly domains could occupy the Nine Suns' heavenly domain, they would not be able to last for more than an era. The Heavenly Law Divine Realm started eyeing the Nine Suns' heavenly domain not after the Nine Suns' royal family conquered the 3,000 heavenly domains but before. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said, This is the greatest secret of the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. Even the Heavenly Mothers do not know of this. Qin Yun frowned as he pondered. A look of doubt appeared on his face. Could it be that the Heavenly Law Divine Realm has been searching for something in this sacred land for many years? According to my guess, it's pretty close. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said, The Mother Moon also came because of this. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon had merged with the Sun's sacred land, so he understood the situation here very well. He also knew very well when the Mother Moon would appear. Is the Heavenly Law Divine Realm searching, or is the Heavenly Law searching? The doubt on Qin Yun's face suddenly disappeared, as if he had already guessed something. Originally, the Heavenly Law Divine Realm was searching, but after the Heavenly Law Nirvana, the Heavenly Mother Heavenly Emperor of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm wanted to take it for himself. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon saw Qin Yun's calm expression and said in surprise, Palace King, you guessed it? Qin Yun smiled indifferently. The only thing that can make the Heavenly Law Divine Realm crazy is the primal chaos, is the primal divine sun. This place contains the chaos divine sun god. Chaos divine Yang was very mysterious. Back when Qin Yun was the Nine Yang Palace King, he only learned of it after deciphering some of the ancient divine stones that fell from the sky. After that, the Natural Law Divine Realm began to spread the news about the primal chaos divine sun, and the various heavenly realms also found out about it. Although I once fused with the Sun's sacred land, I really don't know where the primal chaos divine sun is. I don't even know where the sun seed is. Divine Universe Ice Dragon sighed softly. He was secretly impressed that Qin Yun, the Nine Yang Hall King, knew such a secret. One had to know that he, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, had only learned of the existence of a chaos divine sun after living in the sun's sacred ground for many epochs. The chaos divine sun existed before you came, right? Asked Qin Yun, his eyes filled with curiosity. Yes, it should have existed a long time ago. The old man who guided me to turn this place into a land of cold een. He was the one who told me a secret technique. He told me to use hundreds of thousands of years to roam around the holy land of the sun and use the entire land as the foundation of the array. He drew a simple rune and activated the primal chaos divine yang power. I only completed the great formation at the end of the last great era. Only at the start of this great era did the sun holy land start to transform, gradually becoming a land of een and cold. When the divine universe ice dragon recalled this matter, he let out a long sigh. He had experienced hundreds of thousands of years alone to accomplish this. He was able to escape the puppet body created by the heavenly Tao and be reborn into a powerful ice dragon body. This was his reward. Qin Yun's eyes drooped slightly as he pondered over this matter. Although the divine universe ice dragon felt resentment towards Qin Yun, he carefully thought about it. Although Qin Yun did not give him the divine talisman to suppress the heavenly devil demon, the heavenly devil demon was still suppressed and killed by Qin Yun in the end. After that, he was reborn and changed his fate. From this, he thought of great sage Wu, who was born without 9 souls, being able to defy the heavens and extend his life because of Qin Yun's help. Palace King, what do you think of this? At this moment, the divine universe ice dragon revealed a bit of respect towards Qin Yun. The divine universe ice dragon knew very well how powerful the heavenly law divine realm was, and the 9 Yang Hall King had fought against the heavenly law divine realm for so many years, yet he was still able to live until now. From a certain point of view, the 9 Yang Hall King could be considered to have transcended the heavenly Tao. Otherwise, he would have been killed by the heavenly Tao long ago. Someone is creating a chaos divine sun here. Qin Yun's eyes widened as his gaze flickered. He said in a low voice, "It seems like we know very little about the world. Creating a chaos divine sun." The divine universe ice dragon's heart trembled as his eyes were filled with fear. He thought of that mysterious old man. Why did that mysterious old man ask him to set up an array here and use the power of the primal chaos divine sun to change this place into a cold place? Palace King, that primal chaos divine sun, what use does it have? The divine universe ice dragon asked in a low voice. He was worried that the primal chaos divine sun would be angered and destroy this place. It was said that the primal chaos divine sun gathered boundless energy. When a small wave erupted, it could destroy a heavenly domain with hundreds of millions of stars. It was incomparably powerful and could destroy the heavens and earth. Qin Yun shook his head and said, "I don't know much about the primal chaos divine sun. I'm just guessing that an expert used the 9 suns to create a primal chaos divine sun. The specific process is very complicated." The reason why he had such a guess was because the 9 suns were originally a very powerful formation. Is that mysterious old man creating a primal chaos divine sun here? The divine universe ice dragon said in shock. It's extremely possible that he used the 9 suns as the fire source and the 9 desolate lands as the furnace to create a primal chaos divine sun. This person is definitely an otherworldly expert that has transcended the heavenly Tao. Although Qin Yun's voice was calm, his heart was in turmoil. There was actually such an otherworldly expert in the 9 suns' heavenly domain. Back when Qin Yun was the 9 Yang Palace King, he had begun preparing to create the primal chaos divine Sunday. The 9 Yang divine spirit and the 9 Yin divine spirit were the key. Of course, this was his own creation method. He wasn't sure if it would succeed or not. Later on, due to various reasons, he had no choice but to stop. After that, he was hunted down and persecuted by the heavenly law divine realm. He had been captured and tortured for several lifetimes. Thinking back carefully, he realized that it was because he had begun to create the primal chaos divine sun that he had gradually embarked on a path of no return. Will the primal chaos divine sun be taken away by the heavenly law divine realm? The divine universe ice dragon asked. If that group of fellows were to obtain this kind of thing, wouldn't they become even more powerful? Qin Yun shook his head and said, the primal chaos divine sun is unfathomable, it's not that easy to obtain. This kind of thing is not that easy to control. We still don't know why the primal chaos divine sun under the sun sacred land was born. It's best not to provoke it. The divine universe ice dragon took out its sun seed and sighed. What use does the sun seed have? I only heard that this is the initial state of the heavenly sun. Is it related to the primal chaos divine sun? Qin Yun looked at the divine universe ice dragon's sun seed and also took out a black bead. There are many initial states of the heavenly sun. The sun seed is the initial state of the heavenly sun, and it can grow into a powerful heavenly sun. If it's the divine universe metal stone, then it will be very difficult for the heavenly sun to become stronger. The black bead in Qin Yun's hand was also a sun seed. Then is our 9 suns born from the divine universe metal stone or the sun seed? The divine universe ice dragon asked curiously. I'm not sure. In short, our 9 suns have already grown to an extremely terrifying level. Although the 9 suns have fallen many times, every time they are reborn, they will become even stronger. Qin Yun shook his head. The divine universe ice dragon shook its head and said, everything in this world is truly endless and mysterious. Even though I was once a powerful divine universe ice dragon, I know nothing about this world. In front of the 9 suns, we are as insignificant as dust, let alone in front of the heavenly Tao. Qin Yun put away the sun seed and said, I suspect that the sun seed entering this sacred land is most likely attracted by the primal chaos divine Sunday 9 sun seeds. Maybe one of them will enter the primal chaos divine sun. Why does the primal chaos divine sun need the sun seed? The divine universe ice dragon asked in alarm. Borrowing the seed to give birth. Qin Yun said with smile, the primal chaos divine sun might give birth to a small primal chaos divine sun. When Qin Yun was still the 9 sun palace king, he planned to help the mother moon become the primal chaos divine moon. But now, he feels that the mother moon already knows how to become the primal chaos divine moon. The mother moon fusing with the sun seed is most likely evolving. The 9 suns are also cultivating, they are not dead things. Qin Yun said, Divine Universe Ice Dragon, for you to be able to touch upon this kind of matter, it can be considered your opportunity. It can help you cultivate your mental state. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon put away the sun seed and said, Palace King, I want to ask you something, you must answer me truthfully. Please speak. Qin Yun nodded. Why did you only stay in the Divine Desolate and not go to the mysterious Ninth Desolate? The Ninth Desolate is called the Ancient Desolate, and some people say it is called the Heaven Desolate. If you had stayed in the Ninth Desolate back then, you might not have died. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said. Qin Yun's expression darkened slightly. He had always been unwilling to think about this matter, and he had never mentioned it to anyone else. Back then, Xie had also asked him about this matter. In the end, he could not resist Xie repeated questioning, and told her. Seeing that Qin Yun is silent and his expression is slightly cold, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon hurriedly said, This is just my doubt. I just feel that someone like you should be in the Ninth Desolate. Because I came from the Ninth Desolate. Qin Yun said, Heavenly Law Divine Realm and Heaven Creation Divine Palace both have their headquarters in the Ninth Desolate, and I was once a member of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. The reason why I hid in the Divine Desolate was because I wanted to do what I wanted to do in peace. Is that really it? The Divine Universe Ice Dragon asked. As far as I know, the Ninth Desolate is not like this. The Heaven Creation Divine Palace also moved to the Divine Desolate later on. Is that so? The heaven creation divine palace went to the divine desolate? I don't know about that, Qin Yun said perfunctorily. What exactly happened in the ninth desolate? The divine universe ice dragon said, even the heavenly law divine realm can't stay in that place. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.